Some people say that it ain't right, it ain't right. Some people they say nothing at all. Even in the darkest night, you can always hear the king call. You can always hear the king call. How are you doing? It's me, Friday night. I'm back again. Later start than usual. Took a while to get the ball rolling, getting lads to bed and stuff. You know what I mean? Out walking dogs. She's cold. It's Sweden. There was a bit of ice there, a bit of snow, fucking gone, washed away in the rain. Born enough old crack. Born enough old crack. But I'll tell you one thing, hey, I'll unveil a special guest now in a minute. Oh, special guests in his own right. Oh, we've got nobody watching. No one's watching. Maybe it's four people. 4 viewers. We got 4 viewers. Yes, you know, I was out celebrating the birthday there last week, hence why I didn't do a stream last week. But it's real good to be here. Real great times on the stream with. We got 2 comments here. Let me see who's watching. Hey, cousin Carmine. Hey, what gives, Papa? Mikey Higgins, how are you getting on? Hey, bit of crack to be had tonight. We'll try and do an hour because sometimes I always say this, and I'm, up and about until 4 a.m. And I'm as good as dog shite the next day, man. As good as dog shite. But that is the fucking crack now. That is the crack. I guess we'll get into it. We'll get into it. What have I got to talk about other than the special guest who's coming on? Quite a lot. I got the haircut during the week there. That was a good touch now. The haircut. That's about it, really. I wouldn't fucking... Got the old machine driving ticket there. That was handy. I can drive machines now if I want to. Do some machine driving. If you need a man to do machine driving, give me the shout, like, do you know what I mean? Need a man come do with a cooking, like celebrity chef job, do that too. Need a man come do with a comedy here, I do that too. Need a man to do with a writing comedy for you, I do that too. Need a man to do fucking do your gutters, man, and fucking empty your gutters, hey. Need a man to come and fucking build an old shelf, do that too for you, hey. Hey, how much does it cost to use StreamYard? Ask cousin Carmine. It's actually free, but you have to have this little logo up here with the little mallard who's wearing a pair of headphones on it. And in some ways, that maybe makes it look a bit fucking low rent. Powered by StreamYard. Stephen Grant. Hello, Stephen, lad. I must say, I do look forward to this on a Friday night. It's becoming a staple. You and me new witty books. Aye. Good lad, Stevie. It's nice to do them. I certainly do miss them if I don't do them. Cousin Carmine. Fun fact, St. Patrick was Italian. Graham Russell, Ashton Kutcher of a Friday night in the heat of the night. Glad. I like that, Graham Russell. Wishing you well from across the miles, mate. Canadummy, cheers all. I lad fucking Canadummy. Distant Mammoth, how are you doing, Papa Shango? Friday night and everything is all right. But we're letting the room fill up a touch. The room is in the cyber room. And I'll raise, and if you've got yourself the time to go and get yourself an old Lushner. Oh, special guest over here. Who is it? Who can it be? It's a guest from the show, as in from the Maloney's Digest. Hey, Shawnee from Chicago. What's going on, Papa? St. Columbia, bought Gabagool to Ballina. Don't you fucking forget it, Gabagool. Special guest, one more cheers there on the just tease. Oh. You'll know who he is, lad. You'll know who he is. Come all the way. Say it to Sweden for a little holiday. The reveal. They don't know who you are. No one here has guessed it yet. No one has guessed it. Over here we have our main man, Saint Quarto. You can't really see him. It's Cowboy. Ooh, fucking not far off it, man. You'd be a good ventriloquizer. Stevie Grant says, just finished watching the latest episode, and that's why we're not together with Dave McSavage. Would love to get your thoughts on Dave McSavage. In general. He's a very funny dude, man. He's a good lad. He's one of the last true fucking lads that never made it outside Irish comedy, because much like myself, we were kind of fucking confined to Ireland. But, well, I wouldn't say that. Obviously, a lot of people watched the Hardy Books on Netflix and all that, but it still very much remains outside of the Irish world a cult following. Queezer, the Boo, Quished, I mean. Was he in Schley, baby, was it? No. If you could say Danny Marinino, you might recognize the voice.
Danny Marinino.
Do you recognize the voice? Kevin E. Moran. I was watching, how are you, Kevin? And I was watching the series 3 and 4 of the Hardy Books there and some of the episodes last week with my mate Paddy Patton. And I have to say, I was watching back going, what the fuck am I at? Not doing that. I mean, it's, this is controversial to say, but I think at times it's funnier than Father Ted. Father Ted is very funny. Obviously, it's an iconic classic, and it'll always be a timeless classic. But I think it's funny in a different way. It's more like Father Ted is it's a sitcom with canned laughter, whereas the Hardy Books is just so fucking. It really is so lifelike. And Cousin Carmine, is it Chef Dorina Allen? No. The Viper? No. It's Pez? No. Do you think that Books was the most popular international Irish show? Well, I mean, you had Derry Girls that for some reason was more. Look, the thing is about the Hardy Books is it's crass, it's crude, and it is just basically it's real life. I mean, Kevin E. Moore, he'll tell you the crack, man. How about those fucking Celtics? Do you remember that we had seen in the playground slapping Viper's hole? Yeah, I can understand why Chris would just be sick of playing the Viper, because at the end of every episode, he always has some sort of nude humiliation ritual that would, or like being spanked. I can understand why he was starting to get uncomfortable with that. But a very good sport, fair play to him, and he did indeed crucify himself on the altar of comedy on many occasions. So hats off to the lad. You should do a live reaction to the episodes and break down some of the crack behind the clips. I should do, actually. If I do, it'll be like, this has been copyrighted. Stephen Grant, who was the chap who played the role of project manager, interviewer, Hardy Books? Geez, he was intense. Seamus Mortimer, Michael Brown. He should be doing a lot more as well. See, I don't, for some reason they don't touch us boys in the Irish TV and film world because we're too spicy, too fucking spicy. Cousin Carmine, Hardy Books reminds me of people of the younger years before this new generation of technology. Rural people all over can relate to Hardy Books. It's legendary crack. Cheers, Carmine. I was actually thinking, everyone up here calls me Johnny Shits. So I was actually thinking maybe we should go back and do a TV show now called Owl Books, where we're basically all doing stuff like, obviously lads our age are doing. I think that could be a good touch. It's been 7 years since the last one, which is fucking crime, man. Kind of dummy. I'm Irish, born in Newfoundland and Labrador province, the colony. Oh, up there, Nova Scotia, where man. I would legally change my name to Johnny Shits. Great porn name as well, especially if you're into the Germanic stuff. CM Fox, all right there, lad. Who was the guy who did the driving test? The old man. Sure, he sounded English. He was a lad who came in local enough. We held auditions for the second series onwards. We started doing local auditions in the town. It's good for the town, man. Great buzz around the town. I was on your panel 2 weeks ago with the BS media. Ah, yeah, I remember. Hey, I remember. You're a good lad. Sky boy, Isaac Whelan. How are you doing? Okay, is it time? We're up to nearly 10 minutes in. It is time. I have teased you enough. Some people say that it ain't right. It ain't right. It ain't right. Some people say nothing at all. Even in the darkest night, mighty strange ways he will call.
Hello.
Okay, mighty strange ways, man. All the way. Good to fucking see you, man.
Good to see you, man.
Good times, man. Fucking arm wrestling champ. musician champ, all round fucking champion, Ball State, fucking Arizona.
That's it.
Stay well hydrated. Matty, first impression to Sweden. Very chaotic day today.
I like it. It reminds me of the Northeast of the United States very much. The snow, the trees, the architecture, similar.
Missy said, "I knew it."
Who said that? Missy? Hey, Missy.
It's you see, I've met quite a few of you now in fucking Moondust. Hey, there's a couple of lads selling Moondust up the town. Looking good, Maloney, man. Glad to see things are going. Glad to see things are going heavy. Good lad. Oh ho ho. Shield the Belly Castle. We need an Eddie Durkin match at WrestleMania 40. Maloney's army is waxing strong. Ha ha. Well, lad, Jack. Bronx, New York City. I was staying at the Bronx with Stevie Kelly. For some reason, I'm talking like that when I was over there. I don't know why. We're staying in the middle of the village. Stevie's uncle. Stevie's uncle's a cool dude, man. He looks like Pedro Pascal, and he's like, he's kind of got a half American Irish accent going on. He's like, hey, I don't know what's going on down there at all, like, but I've been living over here now a couple of years. So you're heading off to Ireland on Wednesday. So
yeah, heading off to Ireland.
So if any boys are looking to hang out with Matt, I might make it over. I'm
coming
not sure.
at you.
Up to Hague and Ellie. Buckfast. Yeah, today was there was, you know, I was
a full day.
A full day. He sees what it's like a day in the life.
This man is a busy man. He's got a lot of responsibilities, and he handles them to the best of his ability and with a certain panache that's to be admired.
Imagine
it's not easy.
If you, yeah, exactly. If I had to go and pay fucking 400 quid to the mechanic there to fix the old Volvo, hey, it's fucking just
kind of bollocks. I'm going to Dublin first. Going to meet my buddy Old School. He's turning 50 years old, so we're going to go over there and have his birthday party. And then we're going to see what Stevie Kelly's doing, the cowboy. Going to hook up with him, and hopefully head up to Mayo. Check out Castletown.
It has to be done, man. What happened to the car? I don't know. It wasn't braking evenly, according to the MOT, and I think the drop links needed to be cam hammerer. They were known. They're like stabilizer bars, so they had to be done. But it was better than fucking 15,000 to 20,000.
Yeah, could have been a lot worse.
Could have been, yeah. So everything all at once, like he is the panachiest. Oh, fucking what else has been fucking happening lately? Like, because we missed out last week because I was off out celebrating, and fucking I thought so. I thought tonight was my turn to go out, and of course the ex is always right with these things. As you know, I'd written it down. Oh, you know, someone's ringing me now. 1 second, we got Tommy Boo here. Oh, second.
The man himself, the legend.
How you doing, Tommy?
Where are you now? Are you in the house?
I'm in the house, lad.
Good man. Are you with Mo? I don't want to be fucking.
No. I'm with Matty Strangeways here.
Right. What are you doing? Rimming each other?
Oh yeah.
Right. I'll leave you. Come
Hey, Tommy, and fucking check out the old fucking live stream there, lad.
You're live, Tommy.
Yeah.
Am I on?
Yeah.
It was about the only time you'd get me on, you fucker.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I won't do it yet. I'll do it soon.
Right. You know the crack. I will be on it at some stage.
All right.
Good luck to you.
Shawnee from Chicago got a good laugh out of that. Rimming each other.
Good man, Shawnee. Send a few live super chats or whatever the fuck they're called. Good luck.
Good luck, Tommy. Good night. God bless you.
Next week.
Oh yeah.
I want to see him.
Yeah, I'll give you. He'll look after you. Dr. David would be a nice touch. We'll see if we can get Dr. David on the stream as well. Yeah, you can meet and Shawnee, Graham Russell as well. He might be around fucking Tazone and that. I like the way Dr. David sent me Morton's supermarket where I used to live on that road, Morton's of Dunville Avenue in Ranloch. And he just wrote, "You just don't understand, Morton." But we can see if we can. Shawnee, thank you very much for the super chat there. For endless rim jobbers. I'm not going to tell you about the fucking rim jobbers up the town, man.
It's got a nice ring to it.
You're coming on the stream, hey. Coming on the stream. Hoy. David hasn't been on for quite a while. You look like a couple of 80s action stars hanging with Stallone. Show the picture, man.
Give me a minute.
When you see this for a picture, Brian Daly. What was this now, Brian?
That's
See
old
you
school.
guys.
Brian
Oh,
Daly's old school.
fucking old school.
He'll be here in 4 days.
3 days, man. Yeah, that'd be a nice little touch. He's on. We'll have to get Brian on as well, man. And we'll also have to get Danny Marinino.
Yeah, we'll get Danny on.
Yeah, so Danny Marinino has he's bringing out his. So for I mean, I've spoken about this before. For anyone who doesn't know, Danny was the guy who punched Glenn Danzig there. It was in a viral video that went around the world, and he got nothing but hate mail from
Should we get the book?
Danzig loyalists.
Do a
Yeah, get the
plug on
book.
the book.
Yeah, do a plug in the book. So this is look, there's young Matty there with Arnie back in the when was it, Matty?
87.
87, man. What a time to be alive. 87 a year. The year this guy said, "What's the matter? Used to be somebody I could trust. Come on, don't bullshit me. We are a rescue team, not assassins." And so you had a good jawline on you there, Matty, lad.
Yeah, you know.
He was like, "My candidacy is all about big changes. Special interests have a stranglehold over Sacramento. Yes, give me your address. What's in the 2-week package?" Yeah, it's fucking. There's young Matt there, looking, man.
17.
Yeah.
17 years
all
old.
ahead of him, man. All ahead of him. Good old days. So here's Danny Marinino's book.
This is the 10-year anniversary of Danny's first book. He put it out after the whole Danzig thing happened, and he had a ton of hate mail and everybody threatening him. So in New Jersey fashion, he said, "Fuck you," and put all their emails into this book. And now it's 10 years later, and he's still got lots and lots more emails. Great stories of growing up, lots of stories of pooping. Danny poops a lot. He's a big fella. And I'm in here. There's a couple chapters that involve me, some photos. There's a prank that I pulled on Danny, and it's in here as the greatest prank anyone ever pulled on him.
Let me read an extract from the book randomly.
Buy it.
Randomly.
Yeah, read it.
Okay, I'll read it out. He goes, what should have been a quick ride home from Flagstaff turned into us spending way too much time at Denny's and getting home around 6 a.m. Meanwhile, a few friends and I were supposed to meet up at my place at 6 a.m. sharp. It was the 4th of July. We had a fishing trip planned ahead, which I was already late for. There's Lloyd Kaufman there of Troma. Fair play to Lloyd Kaufman there. He did this one where he'd always have women with nice tits.
A little Lloyd Kaufman trivia in
Lloyd Grossman.
Toxic Avenger 4, Citizen Toxie. He actually blows up my older sister's high school. They call it the school for retards in the movie. And can't say that.
Can't say that these days.
But and they blow it up. But it's actually Our Lady of Lourdes Catholic High School, where my older sister went.
Good Catholics.
Shortly after that, my parents stopped sending their children to Catholic school, so I didn't have to go.
How about those Catholic schools over there? What's it? Navalny. Who is this? Navalny took a ride to Epstein Island. Who's that, Shawnee? But I tell you who. I'd say Rob Reiner was on that island a couple of times.
Was he?
Yeah. What was the story with? I was talking to my friend Joseph yesterday about the Never-Ending Story. So that was a strange film.
Danny and Jay just met that kid, the kid who plays Atreyu,
he must be about 50 odd now, is he?
Yeah, he was at Comic-Con in New Mexico, and I guess he got a big he got a kick out of meeting Danny, so he kind of hung around the whole time and chatted him up.
Was it? He did.
Yeah.
I said invited buddy to a party. He said he had a bad case of diarrhea. I say, bring it. These Nova Scotians drink anything. A bad case of diarrhea. That's a good one, that is, man. I like that one. That was a bit of top notch work. Hey, look at this. Missy's a supporter. Women with nice tits is a group I am proud to be part of. Good on you, Missy. Fucking fair play to you. The Black Mamba. I'm the Black Mamba. Yeah, I love when someone gets it wrong in one of those lads. Like, I'm the Black Mamba. Fucking Omera and Samantha Mumba are after you. Hey. Shout out the Mulroney boys. Boys up there, fucking Mulroney job. Fucking up there, West Mayo. Oh, Ackle job. Newport. Angelo Quaid jobby. The Black Mumbai. got that one right. I'm trying to steer it away from talking about the whole cracks. We won't go there tonight, mate. You know what I mean? It's fucking nothing I can do about it from here. But it is getting closer to me announcing my candidacy is all about the big changes for the old MEP job. Then I'm going up smoking fucking 3 Skinners with Ming over in Brussels. And we're just going to do backbreakers and shelf yellow Simbas up our bum-bums. And it'll be like, it's most unparliamentary to be doing that crack now. Most unparliamentary. It's good to have you over, Matt. It's good to have you over, mate. Yeah.
Great to be here. Long journey, man.
Brought over
it's a
these
long
for the
way
kids,
from
man.
Arizona.
Look at that scorpion inside a lollipop as well. You'd only get that in the States or Mexico.
Yeah.
Have you ever eaten one before yourself?
I have not.
Have you ever eaten the worm?
The worm and the mezcal?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I've drinking a fair amount of mezcal, and I remember intending to do it. But if you do, it usually means you're pretty hammered. And I remember thinking I did, but not remembering, honestly.
It was a bit like the bottom of that Born on the 4th of July bit where you got to drink the worm.
Yeah. Well, remember we were talking before when we bought some mezcal when I went to Mexico with Crazy Craig, and they had a donkey painted like a zebra, just like in Zambezi Nights. We bought mezcal off that guy.
Have you ever been to Tijuana?
I have. No. Well, no, I have not. I have been to several places in Mexico. Almost went to Tijuana.
Yeah, that would have been part of Plan B.
All part of Plan B that we didn't have to go to.
Yeah, I was glad I didn't get stuck in Tijuana by myself.
Yeah,
I'd just be like,
I was ready to go.
Yeah,
I was sitting there with the Mexican insurance and everything for my car.
And you know what? It would have been a bit like the theme tune to Saved by the Bell college days that said, "Standing on the edge of tomorrow, today." It's when Saved by the Bell, they left Bell High and they went to college, and it was just basically the same as like Saved by the Bell, but they were just rinsing it for one more season. There was none of the college-based hedonism that you would expect of college kids who were basically discovering themselves while participating in the inebriation and lunacy of frat-based culture. Didn't have what would you make of fraternities? It's something they don't really have in Ireland or UK, but it's an American thing where they speak to each other in Greek letters. What is this all about? Can you elaborate?
It's some weird shit, man. I when I was a older teen and I was doing a bit of traveling, I actually rented a room. No, I wasn't even in college at this point. I was in and out of college. I did finish.
Weren't we all?
But at one point, I went to UCLA, not to the school, to the campus. And I actually rented a room at one of the frat houses because I needed a place and I couldn't find a place. And they just gave me a room for a month for like $200. And none of them would talk to me. There was another guy renting a room, and he was English. You went in the. Yeah, I wasn't part of the scene.
Really?
Yeah, he wouldn't talk to me. But there was a cool English dude. And he and I ended up going to Pepperdine and having a hot tub party with some of the ladies over there.
While all the boys were all spraying booze across each other's chests.
Yeah, they were doing
himself and Redcoat Richie were over in a hot tub with some babes.
Pepperdine, like in Fort Fairlane.
What's Pepperdine?
It's a university on the coast. Remember Fort Fairlane?
Oh, with Andrew Dice Clay.
I think he went there in the movie.
And was there any coitus with these ladies?
No, couldn't close the deal, but it was pretty rambunctious up until then. It was a good time.
The rambunctious elements, was it bodacious rambunctiousness?
I would say so. There were some curvy ladies in the hot tub,
Nice. Yeah, I like this.
Yeah, it was good.
It's good. And Sean says, "Oh yeah," or is it, "Oh yeah"?
And I'm going to Mexico in 2 months. 2 or 3 months.
Really? You going for some stem cell injections or something?
I want to, and I might try to check it out there. Now, one of the gals at work has a place, and a couple of us are going to go down, talk to an artist for an art show we're having, and using that as an excuse to go down there. Whenever I've been to Mexico several times, I actually had a grant down there, and I did some education work, science education work for about a month. But every time I go, I think it's going to be like Losing It, that movie with Tom Cruise. You ever see that when they're all go down there to Tijuana to lose their virginity with Shelley Long from Cheers?
I haven't seen that actually.
It's
must have been early days, was it?
Yeah.
When he had crooked teeth.
Yeah, I probably still had the crooked teeth.
Is that
special guest?
Cat, is it? Oh, it is the cat. There's
Oh,
there's
it
James
is.
the cat. Yeah,
Yeah.
usually James.
Sweet
joins-
James.
Sweet James. That's what I call him. Yeah, Sweet James. There's a lawyer in Arizona called Sweet James, and the font of the writing is almost like the same as the Carlsberg letters.
It
like,
is. It is.
know,
It's got the.
Is that, Sweet James. Is he a sweet guy? Is he?
I haven't met him. He's got a lot of money though, because he's got enough for billboards.
Yeah,
everywhere
lawyer,
you
isn't he?
look.
Is he one of these insurance lawyer or like accident lawyers?
Ambulance chasers. That's what they call them.
What to say down? Guys, speaking about Mexico, share your most profound Salvia Divinorum experiences. Actually, I have one to speak of. One time back in 2005, because you could buy it legally in Ireland, and Stevie B, a friend of ours, had he packed a bong full of Salvia 30x. So he'd taken some of it, and it didn't do anything to him because I don't think it was at the right temperature. Then I'd taken a good hit of it when it started heating up, and I passed it to Chris, and it was a really intense buzz that lasted for about 30 seconds, but it was just like, whoa.
Is that the spice? Is that the same as spice?
Salvia Divinorum. It's
Or is
different.
it different. Okay.
I don't know.
Spice was in the lab. A guy at Clemson
Yeah,
University created that.
Really, yeah.
Yeah, that's where I went to school.
Oh, there's the two cats are up there. The black one is there as well.
Oh, yeah.
Malish, up here. Leave them alone now. Come on.
Last time I was in England, I was in Manchester walking around, and everywhere you look, these guys are like nodding off and mumbling at you.
Yeah,
And I asked the guy, I'm like, "What's going on with these guys? Is it heroin or something?" He said it was spice.
Yeah, apparently
So
it's,
they go into
bad shit, man.
Yeah, they go into jail. EBGB's brother used to smoke that when he couldn't smoke weed because he got out of jail.
Yeah.
But they go into jail, and apparently it helps kill the time. It was legal in Arizona. I assume. I don't know if it still is. I
Yeah.
tried it once or twice just to see.
It kills the time. So like,
Yeah, so like they forget, and it just makes it go away. But then they get out and they're on the streets of Manchester goofing around.
just
you know?
forgetting
Yeah.
that they've got to be places.
Yeah,
They're always late for everything. Yeah, I mean it's weird old shit. Like, but the salvia thing, it was mad because it kicked in, right, and I just started laughing manically, and as did Chris. He had the exact same trip, but it just felt like I was being pushed, like it caught in a riptide, just going like this to the left of me, and I was like, whoa, you know when you have sometimes you have those dreams where it feels like you're being pulled,
yeah.
which when you're kind of
In between when you're almost waking up.
yeah, or when you've kind of just fallen asleep and your kind of body feels like it's moving around, that kind of, it was like that, but it was
take a step and almost trip, and you go like that.
everything went kind of like everything kind of went like dark blue. It was like a dark blue, like
kind of like a whippet.
it was different to that. It was more so
DMT, because DMT kind of comes.
well I've never have you ever tried DMT?
I knew a guy, you know.
What was
Yeah.
did you see the elves and all this?
I did not. I didn't get that far out. It comes and goes pretty quick. It's a rush. It's been about 10 or 15 years. Somebody gifted me some. Apparently that's the only way you're supposed to do it, or else it's a bad vibe.
Oh.
Maybe it's changed since then, but it was kind of a rush. I can't remember that too much, but I didn't see the elves. I don't think I did enough. I did the old sprinkle on the salad deal just to kind of dip my toes.
So, hello, how are you, Amanda? I smoked a whole thing of salvia years ago, and it did fuck all while all the lads were falling on all forever after they told people I was mental. I just have mad tolerance. Could be the red hair. Hey,
Yeah,
apparently ginger people
I just
are
learned that at work the other day.
they have a higher threshold
Yeah,
to
higher threshold to
pain,
to
isn't it?
pain and to anesthetics, or and you know,
Anesthesia,
Yeah.
and painkillers as well.
yeah,
Um,
good for fighting.
what's this? I'd be scared to touch that. Kind of demonic, I think.
Which one, the salvia?
No, probably the DMT.
Oh, the DMT.
It's mad, like, because I often think things like mushies or acid or DMT, these kind of psychedelics, that an acid trip is very fucking strange, man, because you're seeing all these like perfect geometric shapes, and
Yes.
it feels like whatever, because people are like, oh, you're off your tits on something, therefore but I don't know, it's like sometimes if you look at like an AI generated picture of something, and
Yeah.
it's almost like, when you're having a dream and you're trying to piece the missing bits of details.
Yeah.
So it's like if you were to ask, if someone to ask you, draw a crocodile as accurately, or let's say even a tiger or an animal as close to the lifelike image from your mind, there'd be, you do a pretty good job. People would know, and if you were good at drawing, people would know that it was a tiger, but then there'd be loads of details missing, so if you were to try and, there's certain like patterns and features that you wouldn't remember until you'd actually seen it, but I didn't know that, or how many little dots it would have for whiskers, for that kind of stuff. And I think like AI is almost a bit like that when it's trying to think of things. It kind of, I mean, this is the free version, but I think DMT, your mind does that. Is what I'm trying to say is, it kind of fills in the missing bits in dreams, or like, especially dreams where like you're like, oh look, that chicken's got a pair of fucking Nike Air Max on it. That's a bad example, but you kind of,
chickens have earlobes.
Chickens have earlobes. I didn't know that.
Yeah, do with that information what you will.
Yeah.
Years ago, there was a VHS tape that Timothy Leary put out, and it was just all that kind of geometric stuff, all the stuff you see now with AI, but it was just a constant flowing thing before. This is early 90s, before it was, computer generated all over the place.
Orthodox Church considers psychedelics to be sorcery. Shout out to all my sources. So what did you say there, Matt? Sorry,
it was just an old Timothy Leary video on VHS, and it was Timothy Leary visual stimulation or something, and it was just a whole bunch of geometric.
Yeah, but it's crazy because the things. Did you ever see that video of the guy? There was a journalist, and it was a BBC or something. It was like, floating up and down.
The one in black and white?
Yeah. Spinning now, and the colors are quite vibrant. And up and down again. It's, oh no, I've got to feed the boys. Here, Matt, have a chat with the...
you want me to feed them?
You chat. They see enough of my face, man. You know what I mean?
You fuckers better not give me any shit. I'll come out there. Try indica. Sativa is the paranoid one. You're right about that, Missy. I love sativa because I like to work. I like to keep moving. I'm not a sit around, get high kind of guy. I like to do stuff. So sativas are usually my go-to, but I've been kind of doing a little bit more indica because I find it doesn't knock me out as much as I used to think it would. But any questions for me? Hi, Missy. Missy, you're so close. Who would a fight between me and Don Fry? Don physically is not like he was. He couldn't walk for a while. He broke like 9 vertebrae, and then he had a bar in his back to fix the 9 vertebrae, and then the bar broke and got infected, and took him like 2 years to get it to do that. So he has a really hard time, and he would still totally fuck me up, sadly. But I'd fuck up a lot of other dudes. Those mad killers, yeah. You would love something to get you off these mad painkillers. I hate them. They are brutal. I've been on them. I broke my back myself, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And yeah, they are brutal. There's ways to get off them though. This less and less nowadays too. Yeah, I sometimes wonder that myself. I sometimes wonder, I'm like, is this really that much different, or am I just psychologically telling myself I'm more on this and that? Cannabolics. Yeah, when Don's fighting Roddy Piper. Don's got a great podcast himself, Dan and Don, with Dan Severn, who's another cool dude. He came down to my work one time. We had some dinner, and he talks all about that Roddy Piper and thing. I think he talked on it when he was on this show too. Yeah, indica does help me relax. I'll do that like after in the evening when everything's done. Yeah, most things are crossbred. Yep, that's right. I like the old land races. Durban Poison. Any fans out there for the Durban Poison? The tie stick. I can come off them. I was off them a while I was pregnant, but so do you have EDS, Amanda? I want to know if you have EDS. Yeah, correct, Missy. It will. I still like it though. Psychedelics are basically waking dreams. You got to be in. That's absolutely true. You got to be in the stress-free mood to take them without getting a bad trip. I've not really done a lot of acid. I did it a little bit back in the day. I always liked mushies a little bit better. You do, Amanda? I too am a zebra, my friend. So I feel you, sister. And I was telling Martin the story of going up to Seattle and doing acid at Bruce Lee's grave.
Tell the story.
Well, it was. I'll try to shorten it. If there anybody who's ever read a book called The Sheltering Sky, Sting wrote a song called Tea in the Sahara about it. There's a band called Neurosis that had an amazing album called Enemy of the Sun, and it starts off with some samples from the movie Sheltering Sky. And it's this whole line about how many more times will you see the full moon rise, perhaps 3, perhaps 4, and blah, blah, blah. It's just really intense. And right after Brandon Lee died, right after The Crow came out on VHS, and man, I just got my diagnosis last year. It's a trip, ain't it? But so after The Crow came, at the end of it, they had a little interview with Brandon Lee, and he's talking about that same quote. And this was at a time when I was really into this Neurosis album, like 97 or so. And the movie it's a great movie, The Sheltering Sky. And so I was just in that phase where I was listening to that album all the time. It's this really heady, intense album. And I went up to Seattle to surprise my old best bud from high school, and brought a little bit of the old tablature with me. And neither of us were really all that acid heady kind of dudes, but it seemed like the thing to do. And we went to Bruce and Brandon's grave, and that's where we dropped it. And Brandon's grave had that same quote. How many more times will you see first off, are you lost? And then it goes dum 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 dum, goes into the song. And we dropped it, didn't really trip in, and we were just wrapping up our visit, and Brandon's grave had the quote on it. So I was like, man, that's cool, Jets are cool. And we look around, and there's one tree in the graveyard, and there's 1,000 crows in it. We're like, what the fuck? And they're going crazy. And we're thinking, but the acid hadn't really kicked in yet, so we didn't imagine it or anything. They're everywhere. And we're just like, wow, that's amazing. What a great thing. All right, let's get out of here before we start freaking out and get home. And then right before we leave the graveyard, we turn around in the cemetery. We look back at the same tree. Crows are all gone, and there's robins everywhere. Don't know what it means. The addendum to that story is I got back, we went to the store, and I asked the lady, the nice Korean lady, where's the beer? And this is when it kicked in. And she said, beer? And I went over to get the beer. And apparently in Seattle, they have a thing called beer. And it's just a plain white can that says beer on it. Nothing else. So I'm like,
No ingredients, right?
No ingredients, nothing. So I think I'm on acid, and I am, and it just says beer. So now I'm in, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and it was a good time. The last part of that story was there was a show called Jammin' with Fast Heavily, and it was this show you could call up on and just jam with the guy.
Really?
So I called him because there was just a number on the screen, and I'm on acid. So I called it, and the guy goes, "What song do you want to sing?" And he comes out of the TV. So I'm having this TVC15 Iggy Pop moment. And then I just said, Proud Mary. And then he said, let the good job in the city. And we start jamming it. And then like halfway through, I melt down. And I was like, I'm on acid. I hung up. And the guy just goes, what the hell? And that was the end of my jam with Flash Heavily. But
so would
I got to Google him in the internet era.
Hey, would Flash Everly?
Heavily. He was
Flash
a big guy.
I'll just pull this down a bit. Fucking tired after all this.
It was a long day.
The Phil Mitchell cushion. Oi, Phil Mitchell. A cushion with Phil Mitchell. Hold on, it's upside down. Fuck's sake. Here we go. Oi, I see Danny Arches. Oi, Sharon, you're a wrongin' and a slag.
I must crush you. I would break you. Here's a funny story. I actually went to college with Dolph Lundgren.
Did you?
I never saw him, but he was at the same time that I was at Clemson University. Dolph Lundgren was there.
Doing the engineering, was it?
He was. And also a politician, a well-known politician who at the time was not a well-known politician. She's now running for United States president.
Queen of the Neocons.
Queen of the Neocons. She lived about 5 buildings down from me. We'll leave it at that.
There was I saw a saw a video there the other day, or it was a couple of weeks ago. It was a band, and all of the band members were morbidly obese. And
I think I saw that video. It's going around. They're
man.
good.
Yeah, we'll see that. I'll have to get some of that. So I'll show you.
But I'd seen it before. EVGB's cousins. They're all about 500 pounds. Some radical dudes from Salt River Pima Maricona, in Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian community, and they're called Reservoir, and they're just this awesome metal band, and they're just big fellas, man. And they just.
It says here, Jody Marsh fears for her life and is terrified to leave her home after being stalked and harassed by neighbors, as she reveals latest dispute has seen her under police investigation for indecent exposure.
Dun, dun, dun. Who's that?
She was like, look at this, smoking snakes of Sweden. Like, we're waiting to see this. Smoking snakes of Sweden. See, I don't know if anybody else gets this, but smoking snakes of Sweden. But I can't even remember what the name of this. Remember when technology gave us the mummy's voice? This is the hardest laugh I've. Okay, yeah, let's have a look at this. I can't remember
Got
where
some good ones over here. Got a good crowd.
Hitting his mouth and vocal cords with a 3D printer. It allowed them to produce a single sound. Scientists were able to mimic Nessie Amun's voice by recreating his mouth and vocal cords.
I don't know where it is, but anyway, because this is what happens anytime I even go on Instagram. It's
OBCD.
It's gone. You know, the landing page. It's either boobs or fucking Arnie pictures, or I don't know, like cute dogs or funny videos, and it's like, oh, I meant to get in touch with someone there and totally forget what I was on there for. But these mobile obese lads anyway. So people saying, oh, heavy metal, and then there was someone was like, oh fuck, some fucking brilliant ones. There was Fat Fighters.
There's a band in Phoenix,
Judas Feast.
There's a skinhead band in Arizona called the Fat Skins.
Fat Skins.
Shout out to Mike, good friends of Danny
Marinino.
Yeah,
say it.
Good oi band, Danny Marinino.
So I've got since
Brian Daly.
We're in Arizona. Danny Marinino was just stuck in my head, so it's become another name.
Did I show the book? I did, right?
You did, yeah. And the other one is, it blows my mind, and I enjoyed reading that on the plane on the way back. It sits beside the bed. It's a bedside read.
It is.
Again, I'll take a flick through. And now I have the other book to also read.
That's right.
It'd be nice to do a bit of a fucking get back to Arizona for a good 2 or 3 weeks and just do loads of filming and
eating, drinking.
Oh yes,
smoking.
Oh yes,
smoke anywhere.
Smoke anywhere. Don't give a fuck like.
We're smoking joints like this.
So got some good people there in how many people we got? 16. It's an intimate one tonight. As you can see,
We're up to 20. Did I scare them off?
All right, they come and go, man.
They come and go. Ain't that the truth?
Good fucking lads. We got the
Repo Man.
The regulars are in tonight, and it's going well. Yeah, it's going well. Yeah, what's it? You're not a wasp. You're a Catholic. Says Sean.
What can I tell you, man? I know I look this way, very waspy. But...
Oh yeah, actually, that's a good one, man. You got to work Matty's voice into the He-Man skits.
Oh yeah, that's a good call.
We'll have to do another one. I still find it very funny, the one with Ellis going up to IRA. You selfish bastard.
Yeah,
you scared a lot of, because I said to him, you scared the lot of us. But he misheard what I said, and he said, "You scared a lot of us." Instead,
Ellis is a legend. I took a selfie with me and him in front of IKEA, and right before I take it, he goes, "Up the rah."
Paj Mahaj, good to have you in the house. Hey, Chloe LCW sorted me last night out, boys. Sorted me night out, right out, boys. Which the stream is it, Chloe? It's fucking good to have you here. Hey, good to have you here. It's
Cannabolics.
Sorry.
He asked about Brian Daly. Not that Brian Daly, but a very famous Brian Daly from the band Swain. And they just had a new album produced by the guitar player, or mixed or mastered or produced by the guitar player from Flogging Molly. So
Really,
check
yeah?
them out. Yeah, their new album. I think it's the stuff I sent you.
Oh.
He produced it. So
The power of Swain.
Swain.
Shite, I'm on me lass's profile. No worries. Who is this? You It's a regular viewer. I got to sit up because I'm looking particularly lazy, and people are like, if he's fucking dialing it in by a low watch. Fair enough. It has indeed been a long day. I was hoping to do this at midnight, but I had to watch a bit of TV with the kids. Oh, look, there he goes now. The ginger lad.
Sweet James.
Yeah, Sweet James has gone up. And if you were to see the crack with the cats and the dog, basically the dog just stands there staring at them while they eat. It's very strange behavior when you see, like, at this stage they should be, relaxed with each other, and they're a lot better now. At least you can like leave them off in the house and they'll kind of go about their own thing. But the cats they're tough. The black cat is a bit more mellow and chill, whereas there's the animosity between Sweet James and Malish is it's
They fight like cats and dogs.
They fight like cat and dog, yeah. But they were the closest beside each other I've ever seen them. Just as I was feeding them, they were about this much apart, and like James the cat just looked up at Malish. He was like, "I've never been this close to him," and then goes,
this is not going to work.
"The way Maloney was lying down sensually, I was worried this was going to end up in a sword fight."
You're on the wrong
Space
channel,
ducking,
friend.
Space ducking. The cat
It's a very
prefers
small
when you
screen.
call him African American as opposed to black. Says Shawnee. Yeah, he's actually Persian. He comes from Iran. Hannah B, how you doing? Hey, ha ha. But they're two lovely cats, to be fair. Like they're good, solid lads, man. From they've got good breeding in them. Good breeding. I kind of, cats are a funny old one because some like these cats they're good kind of cozy cats and the kind of cats that come up to you when they're good pets. They're the opposite to street angel, house devils. You get people who like they're really nice out when you meet them in the street, and then behind the scenes they're fucking schlepping the kids and the wife around. That's known as a street angel, house devil. James is he's a house angel, street devil. So it sucks for the small creatures and the birds around him. He's an apex predator of the garden variety. We do have hawks over here and around this neck of the woods in Stockholm. Sometimes you'd be like, one of them bastards try and take the cat, like, but you'd be doing fucking well. Hey. But it's fucking up to 47 minutes now of chat, like, do you know what I mean? My gas tank is empty. Today there was an awful lot of stuff done. Awful stuff remains to be done that didn't get done today. Awful lot of stuff. Fucking headwork, man. Headwork. Boring old shit. I subscribe to Paulie Gualtieri for Sopranos regarding cats, demonic creatures who take the breath of the baby. They're like snakes with fur. Some cats are fucking boring, man. It's like where's my food? Yeah, cheers for that. Just don't even bother closing the cat flap behind them. Whereas I think ginger cats and tabby cats and black and white cats, they're usually the friendliest of them. Paj Mahaj says Derry Girls is a load of shite. Do you know what? I haven't watched much of it, but the fact that it was more so the followers of it that kind of put me off, and some of the cast members were very, very woke on Twitter, and the fact that their meteoric rise to fame and they did fucking well for themselves, hey. They did awful well, you know what I mean? I'm not fucking putting them down, hey. What? The worst part of Derry Girls was they had Chelsea Clinton onto it. Yeah, you see, the thing is, it's a female-centric show, and it's nostalgic, and like the Hardy Bucks is about fucking drugs and crime and hard talk and a lot of adult themes and bad language, as Stateside would say in that. South Park. I like South Park more because there's bad language and swearing in it. Like I like that. And what do you think of Scrubs? Scrubs, man. I'm no Superman. That's the best bit. And what do you think about it? It's like, it does not inform me, man. It does not inform me.
Scrubs.
Tabby McTat was a busker's cat. Actually, I've got that book. Read that to the kids. Tabby McTat, just, you know, the busker had no insurance, done his leg in, and then he went back to the scene where his cat was, and he was gone. But then cat had moved in with a posh cat, knocked her up, had kids, and then adopted his, gave away his own cat to the busker, and he then became another cat that sung meowtifully well, as I say. What do you make of the Young Offenders? Well, the director of Young Offenders was the guy who did the Danny the Dunsman thing with me back in the day. I haven't seen any of it, to be honest with you. I haven't, but they did well as well. Men are looking well. No, unless waspy. I like watching Dairy Girls until they use the platform to support abortion, and that didn't sit well with me. Stick to comedy shows and leave politics out of it. Says Amanda. Sean, Young Offenders was class as a movie, but went woke on TV. You see, all this, you know what? All this fucking woke shit. It's like, it's top down. It's your fucking. It's basically BlackRock and HR departments and just this fucking pseudo science bollocks that is coming out of like Columbia University. It's divisive shite. You know, you were saying about DEI does in some ways it's good for you know, I think it's important. Like when I went to Swedish school here, the good thing about being in Swedish school is it taught me a lot about, because you're with all these other nationalities and you're all in the same class and you're all speaking in Swedish. You all have to like describe your culture. And I was in with Cubans, Iranians, Latvians, Lithuanians, Aussies, Kiwis, Germans, you know, Chileans, Argentinians, and you know, people from all over the world basically. And you know, yeah, like China, Japan, Malaysia, Indonesia. He subscribes to those magazines from Indonesia. But it taught me a lot about different cultures at an early age. And I think it was actually a very good, you know, it's important to understand like what motivates people from a religious point of view or a cultural point of view, or the superstitions or why people think the way they do, you know, and but clubbing people over the head with it as a means of just fucking making people feel bad for just existing is wrong. And the people who drive that narrative, such as Robert DiAngelo with this fucking white fragility bollocks, people like that should be bent over and bummed, no questions asked, and in a ceremonial bumishment that you'll have people who are drawn, you know, a straw, and there's like a lottery of bumishment, and they're forced to administer the punishment to these people that divide society instead of actually trying to, okay, instead of what we don't have in common, what do we have in common? Let's work through that. And if you're not prepared to do that, the punishment will be bestowed. I say punishment because I haven't used the term punishment for quite a while. Brian Turbot, how are you doing, man? Good to see you, Brian. Big B and the Big Beat, soft driven, slow and mad, like some new language, reaching your head with the fuck, I've lost it. Message of a divine sudden fury. Good to see you, B, up there and fucking up by the ball alley, man. Ball alley.
Sorry to interrupt.
Oh yeah, no worries.
A couple of people mentioned, what's the story with Cork? Because I saw the commercial where like it's like, I'm a lesbian, I'm an African, I'm this and that. I'm from Cork. And the guy's just like, it was a parody commercial. Nice. And the gals are talking about Cork on there. So what's the story with people?
People from Cork.
From Cork.
Cork's not a bad old fucking spot at all. I was very impressed with Cork, actually. I used to kind of think it was basically, I used to find it quite boring back in the day, but the time we went down there with Stevie and Pete and Terry and did shows there in Cork, I fucking great crack in Cork, great old spot. Crane Lane, fucking going well. Hey, so Mr. Fisher says Have a business trip to Bangkok next week. Hitting the Ladyboy bars. Is the Viper still there? I don't know. Hannah B. The problem is they treat those shows like one long, very special episode, and it's quite condescending and elitist and hostile people, and hostile and turns people off. At least in my opinion. Hannah B. I like that now. That was a good. That was a good touch. I can't stand the Big Bang Theory, for example, and I think shows like Freaks and Geeks, Glee, the Big Bang Theory, the fact that shit gets pushed to the forefront and they're just throwing teams of writers at it, insane amounts. Like Friends, for example, when Friends was on. Now Friends, looking back 20 to 30 years later, is deemed as being offensive and insensitive, and it's like, can people not just like the way things just evolve and then they look back and that was old fashioned, but like if you look at the cohesion in times of that, no one gave a shit and everyone just got on with it, and now people are kind of like people have so much in terms of material. I mean, not everybody, like, because times are getting tough for people, and between fucking recessions and austerity and inflation and the fucking pandemic bullshit that was foisted upon everyone. That aside, people still have digital bread and circuses to keep them occupied, and there are people there are professors or legislators that just think of things to basically put into law. That's how I see it. Like, they're like, oh shit, I've got to justify my position here. So
I do like the Friends Hardy Bucks crossover that somebody did. Did you see that?
Toasty.
Right. Friends was the only thing on TV at the hotel that I could understand last night. It was on. And they went to Arizona, I think.
Can you say hello to me, mate? Fucking Sean Hyland's a big fan. Oh, you Seanine by any crackhead. What were you saying there? Sorry, Matty boy.
I watched Friends in the hotel last night, and it was an episode where Joey thought he had an acting job, and they flew him out to what looked to me like Arizona.
Yeah.
And then just like we were talking before, and then right when they were about to star in this movie, the guy says, the money didn't come through. Sorry, we're gonna have to cancel it.
That's
I just went through with a TV show. So
yeah, so social engineering. Minder was the best TV program ever. I wouldn't mind watching a bit of Minder. It was solid. I seen someone did like a mashup of The Office with a Liam Neeson interview where he's like at the end of it, he did a really good impression of a Thai voice, because he sounds like our taxi driver we have, who is Swedish, but he lived in Thailand for many years. And he picked me up in the cab yesterday, and he's from Sweden, but he sounds like he comes from Thailand. Hello, Mr. Martin. How are you doing tonight? Very nice. Yes, it's nice. It's okay. Yes, I work. I'm off the day after tomorrow. Take it nice and easy. Hannah B says, I love that Friends episode that left Joey stranded in the desert. The money ran out.
That's the one I'm talking about. That's the one that was on last night.
Yeah. The Facts of Life. I don't recall that one.
The Facts of Life was great because it took place in Peekskill, New York, which was right near where I grew up. And they used to mention my town. Oh, I got a meeting up in Poughkeepsie, which is where I'm from. So when you're a kid and you're watching that, it's like, oh my God, they said Poughkeepsie on TV. But there's a place you got to know. You got to love The Facts of Life. Molly Ringwald was on the first season.
Is there a town called Baskin in Ireland? Maybe. I'm not sure. I'll say this in Liam Gallagher's. Am I the only one who likes Big Bang Theory? Mind, that's a sentimental aspect to it. It's like I remember watching Scrubs all the time when I was in Ireland because I was young and it came on TV, and it was pre-internet days, really. Well, the internet was around, but we didn't have it. So you just watch whatever came on TV and you get into it. And there was some good bits, but like Scrubs, like same as fucking Malcolm in the Middle, which is always on.
That dude lives in Wisconsin. I know.
Who? Frankie Muniz.
Yeah, I went to dinner.
He's a race car driver.
Yeah, I tried to get him to read my script. I sent it to him.
Really?
He has he's a nice guy. I was at a Christmas dinner. He ended up sitting across from me at my ex-girlfriend's place, and we had a nice chat. And then he said he had a olive oil store,
Really?
best olive oil I've ever had. Really class stuff, and he was actually running it. So I went down and checked him out. Had a nice chat, bought some olive oil and this and that, and then I have another script that has I have a couple of scripts I've written, and one is about Peter Proctor, famous English race car driver, who was burned tragically in an accident at Goodwood, but survived. And I thought it would be perfect for Frankie because Frankie races Ford Mustangs, and Peter was the very first one to ever race a Ford Mustang, and that's why they're so big in France now, because he won. What was it? Was it Tour de France Auto? I think one of them. But then in France, it's like a novelty. They love Jerry Lewis and they love Ford Mustangs, and there's that song, "Ooh, Ford Mustang."
Yeah.
By Sergey. What's his name?
Sergey Lavrov.
No. Oh, what's that guy's name? The guy that fingered what's her name and made a song. Was it Brigitte Bardot? I think so. Does anybody know who's the French guy? This Sergey Gainsbourg. Is that? Oh God, I can't.
The Goose Lord asks, Martin, you watched many traveler fighting videos, went through a phase a couple of years back where I knew the law inside out and wanted who, gone, etc. Totally out of the loop now. Yeah, I mean, funny enough, travel videos a little bit like UFC at the time. You know, it's like they've got the promos, they've got the big events, and then they've got the intrigue and mystery that surrounds the characters.
Well,
and
that's how I got into Hardy Bucks. Is I was watching Traveler videos, and then Owen started doing it, and they were putting it on mixedmartialarts.com. And in the very beginning, in America, they're like, "Oh, they're travelers," because we just heard the accent and whatever, we didn't know. And then and you can still find that thread on mixedmartialarts.com, but the videos are gone. And then I saw the one where you guys, from Hardy Bucks, where you guys do, you know, there's a man here for every man, and that whole bit. Yeah. After having seen the Traveler videos, and that's when I was like, this is hilarious. These guys are comparable to the Joyce family. You know, he's trying to fight right now. Big Joe Joyce is, no, it's Tyson Fury's dad's trying to fight Joe Egan.
Really?
The English hardman who's like 60 now. He's running a campaign on the internet trying to get it going.
It's nice to get the beast in here now. There he is. Yeah. He's a lovely old dog. You've got on well with him. He barks quite a lot of people, but here, man, come here.
Not me. Gets me in the face. Come here, buddy.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He's a good dude.
Look at him up there. He's pouring at up under. He's making a little nest for himself there now.
You want to be?
Oh, that Marsh, good. He's over there. You can see him over there. There he is. A very good lad. He's a strong leadership skills. Great in the HR department.
Good in the pinch.
Good in the pinch. Big Bang Theory. I'm gayer than you. No way. The oldest brother is Danny, the rapist Masterson brother. That's I don't, you know, isn't something's a bit odd about that, man.
Who's the Scientology thing?
Yeah, I don't know. Was he set up, or I don't know? It's a bit fucking weird.
I have a little Scientology story.
So you do. Was it about the volcano there with the alien who sent the bad vibes and the
No. Well, my friend Dan Stone, he does a lot of different interesting, funny things. And for a campaign, he was for that Snuggles thing. It was a big thing, but he used to take all these Scientology promos and make it for that band for us and hand out flyers at clubs. And then we found out that L. Ron Hubbard wrote Dianetics on 40th Street in Phoenix.
Dianetics.
It's like a mile down from the house. And they took the house that he wrote the book in, and they made it a special invite-only museum. And I met this Swiss woman at a meeting for work, and she was there as the curator of the Dianetics or the L. Ron Hubbard Museum. So she invited me down, and it's like a 2-hour personalized tour, and you go in every room. And
2 hours of walking around a gaff where he wrote.
It's insane because every room they have a picture of him in it, and they have it set up exactly how it was when he was there. And we were in the one room where, according to the Spin magazine article with his son, where he gave an abortion to his 15 or 16-year-old mistress.
Who did?
L. Ron Hubbard. We were in the room, and Dan goes, "This is the room with the abortion." And we were like, "Wow!" But so the woman was very nice, so I don't want to be insulting to her. And the house was gorgeous, and they had the car, the whole bit. But you go through the whole thing, and this will probably be my last one. I'll probably disappear after this but allegedly you get to the last room, and it's this amazing room with like, this was probably 15 years ago, but state-of-the-art video for the time. And boop, 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 and things come up, and the screen opens, and they tell you like the rest of it.
A side hatch just opens up, and Tom Cruise comes out naked.
Almost. They have this book, and I think it was like Edgar Winter or something was the page it was open to. I was like, I love that guy, Frankenstein. And but we even got the little thing where they put on the tomato, and you get boop, 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 the little thing you hold, and it tells you your power and everything that.
The thetans.
Yeah, we did that.
Wow.
And it goes like this. And she's like, see, and I'm like,
the stress test.
Yeah.
It's funny. I just want to Scrubs before we go on. Yeah. This ties into, funny enough, Scientology and my ex-girlfriend. Speaking of ex-girlfriends, and Scrubs. So earlier on, when I was saying about we used to watch Scrubs on TV and that, and but then it was oversaturated. I'm just gonna finish the other part, but go away. It was oversaturated because Malcolm in the Middle, fucking Scrubs, and Big Bang Theory. It was always on E4, Sky One, and it got to the point where like the fucking the Malcolm in the Middle started annoying me. It was like the fat lad and Dewey, and I was like, in the beginning, the first when it came out, I thought it was very funny.
Yeah, and
then it just went shite. But Scrubs had some very funny moments in it, like when he talked. But then it just concentrated too much on that weird fucking bald doctor, and I just it annoyed me. But I did like it. I used to watch it all the time. And I remember my ex, it was always on Swedish TV, and my ex-girlfriend Sarah, she was like, I was like, I want to watch. We were watching TV, and she turned over, and I went, I want to watch Scrubs. Why? It's funny. She goes, no, it's not. And I went, it is. Tell me why it's funny. And I was like, yeah, fair enough, actually. And ever since, I kind of didn't really watch it. But so when I was, you met this Swiss woman. When I was 22, I'd broken up with the ex for the second time. And it was quite fucking traumatic at the time. His first proper girlfriend and whatnot. So I went with Chris and our belated friend Tommy Cox we just went with these Irish lads in a camper van. We went around like the Baltic states and into Poland and Germany, and we left them in Germany. But on the way back, I had to take a bus. I thought I was going to fly from Hamburg, so take a bus from Germany, rush to get to the airport. Fucking Ryanair, man. So the airport it was the wrong airport, basically. And they were like, oh, yeah, it's the other airport. And I'm like, oh, you mean the other terminal? No, the other airport. And I was like, well, where's that? It's like an hour away. And I was like, great, I've missed the fucking flight back. And so I had a night in Hamburg, and then took the bus instead from Hamburg to Stockholm. So when we were going from Rostock in Germany across the ferry, before we got to Denmark, the police had stopped the bus driver, and he said that he'd driven over too many hours. So this woman gets up, and she goes, she gets up, walks down the bus, and then she comes back. She speaks to the police, speaks to the driver, and then she stands up in front of a packed coach. She goes, raise your hands if you speak English. Most people raise their hands. Raise your hand if you speak German. Most people raise their hands. Danish and Swedish. So she goes, most people on this bus speak in English, so I will take this in English. The driver has driven too many hours, and the bus is not allowed to go. Is there anybody on this bus that has a heavy goods vehicle bus license?
Can anyone fly this plane?
3 people raise their hand and goes, would you like to drive the bus? Dude fucking gets up and starts driving the bus. And then she comes back and she sorts out the problem. And I went, fuck me, man. That was major. And I was like, what do you do for a living? She goes, I'm a lawyer, but I have given up the law, and I'm now a nun in the Church of Scientology. And I was like, but she was fucking great to talk to. I spilled the beans about all what was going on. She goes, what you need to do, you need to go to Galveston, Old Town, and get the book of Dianetics by L. Ron Hubbard. And I was like,
written on 40th Street in Phoenix.
Yes.
She said that.
It was written in Phoenix. And I was like, I've heard about this. I was like, sure, I'll get the book for the crack and see what happens. And then like when I got back together with the ex about a week later, and she rang me up. Did you go and get the book of Diaries and Edges? So I was like, oh yeah, I got that. Yeah, cheers. Nice to talk to you, Anna. But that was less of it.
Yeah, I think I got a call too. After
Otherwise,
from
my
that gal.
Thetans level could have been through the roof. But there was another time, me and Owen in 2007, we were on Abbey Street in Dublin, and it said free stress test, and Owen was like, "Go in there, get no free stress test." I was like, "Do you even know what a stress test is?" I don't know, but it's free. I went, Church of Scientology. All right. So didn't go.
Yeah. We saw some protesters back in the 90s outside a different place in Phoenix, holding up this. I still have a flyer from it, and it was all about Xenon and everything, the alien. And we went by. I said, "What's the skinny?"
What's this? I'm pretty sure that's how I first saw Hardy Books, as well as that. There's a man trying to sleep here.
Yeah.
It came up after Joe Joyce getting arrested by armed police. I didn't see that one. The Tech Bro cult is also in AZ. Tech Bros. John McGinley's delivery is just perfect. There was Eurotrash was a great old show. That was fucking hilarious. Like some of the
Tech Bro cults in Asia.
The voices. It was always like there was always a Scouse woman as well. And she's like, "Oh, I've been running this brothel now for about 20 years. It's great." Bob Kelso walking into a meeting and blurting out, "Hi, I'm Bob Kelso, and I like whores. Forever lives in my head," says Hannah B. Could have been an operating Thetan. Hey, I tell you one thing, man. How are your Thetans levels?
My Thetans were off the chart.
Off the chart.
Yeah.
Matt's Thetans, man.
A lot of fucking Thetans.
A lot of Thetans. You know what I mean? Thetans rhymes with Cretans. Cretans is a word often used by Shredder in and the Ramones. Cretan hop. But I remember there was one time where me and Danny Riley and two randomers who come back to a house party in 2007. We'd fucking went to Fibbers and went back to their place and drank what was left. Then we went to an early house on the Keys in Dublin, and it was a very interesting and depressing place. And then some lad comes in, he comes in with the backpack, goes, "Here, do you want to buy some fucking white wine, man?" And we were like, we ended up buying him for like €2 a bottle. He's like, "You're fucking robbing me, man." And went back. And as we were going back on the Lewis, I kept saying the word Cretans, and then Dan Riley, because it is really loudly on the morning commute, goes, "There's a lot of Cretans in here today, a lot of Cretans, man." And I was like, you could hear a couple of groans of disapproving groans, and he's like, "An awful lot of Cretans on this train, man." And this fucking hard lad in the tracksuit goes, "Who you fucking calling a Cretan? You can't. Who you can't? Do you want to fucking fight there?" I'm calling anyone Cretan, man. I'm just saying Cretans, man. And there was going to be like a scrap at like 9 a.m. And then later on, there was this lad called Ian Lynch who claimed to be Vince Neil's son. He looked a bit like Vince Neil, and it was like this older bird who was in the gaff, and everyone was trying to like get with her. And as the night progressed, she started looking. I don't know about that, man. But Dan and this lad were trying to get with her, and Dan, your man was going, "Yeah, I injured my knee," and Dan was like this, going, kept slapping his knee, and he went, "Don't fucking do that again, man. Don't do that again." He's like, and then so we're going like this.
That's not funny.
And he hit him again, and then so your man gets up, takes his glass of wine, and threw it on Dan's chest, and then called him some expletives, and then they left, and that was the last time we ever seen Ian Lynch. Your OT levels are indirectly proportional to you testosterone levels.
Nice.
Crotums. Bring back comedy, hey. So that was Cretans. I like the word Cretans. It's a good word.
There's no stopping the Cretan from hopping.
Cretan hop. But we've been an hour and 50 minutes now, Matt. It's going well now. We've got 27 people in the room. Hey,
Big time.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. So I think if I actually, put some preparation into the bit, like I'm like, I've been driving in my car. I'm like, oh, I've seen this on Twitter. That would mean having to open up a whole load of tabs, which I could do. Most of the time, it's this clown. Let me see if I can add this guy a picture of this guy in the slides.
Great Cretan.
Great Cretans. Upload file. Let me see. See if I can get a picture of this. Bit of Cretan work, man. Where's the fucking desktop, man? Desktop. Someone. So this guy. I can't put it up. Fuck it. Forget about it. I'm not great with the old boomer tech levels, man. I've never visited Great Cretan. Fucking hell, lads. Well, it's 2:15 in the morning, ladies and gentlemen. I think I will knock it on the head there, but we will do another stream before Matt leaves the Swedish Badlands for the Emerald Isle. Have you ever been to Ireland before?
I have.
Yeah.
One time. But I've never been to Dublin.
Oh,
and I've never been to Mayo.
Get the child out the truck and let Mikey Higgins by. I've been wanking in my car. Sorry, but that was quite sophomoric of me. Juvenile. Potty mouth. Shouldn't have done it. But
What's going on in the chat? Any good crack there?
Matty, good show. Great travels, says Shawnee. You're a good gang, man. You're a good fucking crew of people. I was thinking about maybe doing a fucking Eddie Durkin live tour at some stage this year. Just I asked Owen, did he want to do it? And he said, I want to focus on the acting, man. I was like, why don't you just, I don't know. But I just wanted to try and get some fucking momentum back behind the Hardy Books again. Go to Log Boy in Mayo. Fucking Log Boy.
Log Boy. What's that? Pub? Log Boy.
Okay. If William is Defoe, then you boys are the 6 or the 7 at least. A man, Chloe Hay, or whoever this is behind the account.
Yeah.
Bring Durkin back. I was thinking it'd be funny just to do like just not me, but just Eddie Durkin. Comment is all you need. Hey, yeah, because I was thinking there's so much material from the Hardy book, and I was just thinking like, I don't know what would be a good name for the show. Niazur might be able to offer us
something like Ibiza.
Hi, Martin. I love the Hardy Books. I wanted to ask how you met Boo and Toasty. I know you said about how you met Buzz. Well, I was in school with all the boys. They were the year behind me, and Pete ended up going back 2 years in school. He repeated 5th year, which is like the worst fucking year. You know, you're so close to just getting out of there. But I think he just did it for the crack. Really. Durkin's Digest. Now that's a fucking good one. Alex. Yeah,
that's not
Durkin's
bad.
Digest.
That's not bad.
Yeah, basically just fucking covering just cover things like topical shit or whatever, and some classic stuff. That's a good. Okay, in the chat, if I was to do a live comedy show on stage, what would you like to see? What would maximum crack? And we know what we'll do. We'll give another fucking 13 minutes. We'll bring it up to the hour and a half mark, and we'll discuss this. And then I'll just fucking start booking in some gigs, but England and Ireland first, I suppose, and then go over to the States then, man, up fucking Statesville. Do you know what I mean? Jogging with Jerkin. Do a Curb Your Enthusiasm type thing. Were all the lads acting? It was a spontaneous. Can you act? Well, you see, the thing is, me, I did a bit of acting in college, and I always wanted to do stuff for TV, and the boys were just very funny. So I was just like, once to seeing what me and Owen and Chris had done, I said, I remember Tommy Boo actually talking about an old boss he had, and he was like, look at this for a sweet setup. I'll see if I can with the Mordora. Oh no, his little face. He's happy there now. He'd probably be fucking bunking there with machine. But Tom was talking about this boss he had on a job once, and he was like, he said he would turn up pissed, and he'd be like, I'm a wine alcoholic. It's not as bad as being a whiskey alcoholic. And I remember seeing Tom's performance of that, and I was like, he has it.
Yeah, he's just natural.
Yeah, and actually so I was watching with myself and Paddy Sween. We were watching all the load of episodes of the Hardy Books last week, and there's not one fucking weak link in it. You know what I mean? Everyone just turns up and does a great job. And it's the best band they've seen all night. Come on, Christ. I was watching that when I was flying from Mexico City to Tijuana. I was just whatever was downloaded off YouTube onto the phone. I was like, I may as well watch the Oxygen episode. And I was like, fucking, you'll be needing that, boy. No one knows you're here, Brian.
No one knows you're
What
here.
does that mean? Yeah, just
Nobody knows you're here.
Don't forget that, Brian. All right, nobody knows you're here, Brian. And there's Graham Russell.
It's like being punched by a
Mo-
fart.
More Dublin bus stories, specifically what you saw on the back of said buses. The time when the heroin addict on the back of the 18 bus on the way to start fucking smoking heroin at like 8:30 in the morning, or even like 8 o'clock in the morning. And when he took out a Johnny Player Blue and the foil, it was the one day I was like, I'm getting the upstairs back of the bus today,
Yeah.
not the Scaldies. And I was like, okay, there's a reason why people don't get the back of the bus. And he took out the
Bad things.
he took out the old fucking silver foil with a big biro and starts lighting the heroin and smoking that. And he had a Johnny Player Blue cigarette. He was chatting. He was like, "Who's down Mayo? Yeah, you from Mayo? Fucking very good, man. Yeah." And he, and I was like, fucking hell, man.
It's a hard way to live your life,
You
man.
can see people who they were like, what's going on with his voice? But they were like trying to like look, but they were too afraid. There was another time I was on a errand bus going from Swinford to Dublin, and there's a load of like excited teenagers who were going up to Dublin for the day, doing a bit of shopping, like Stephen's Green and Asia fucking generic alt store. And they were all talking about the crack they're gonna have in Dublin. Then this lad comes in fucking like Liverpool jersey, and he's like, "How's it going? Yeah, where he's from? Yeah, Ballarkill, man. Yeah. Do you mind do a bit of this? No, do you mind just a little bit of this? Yeah." And they were like, "Yeah, you work away, man. Yeah, sound." And all you could smell was like heroin on the bus, and I was like, "Fuck's sake!" This was only in Mullingar, so we had like another hour and a half of this shit. And he was like, no, this was before we got to Longford, actually. And he goes like this, and just want anything from the shop, guys. I was bribing them to keep silent. And that's good, thanks very much, we're grand. It was like being twerked by a bale of hay or a bale of silage.
Silage.
Oxygen with Kanye West. Andy Wallace as Pete Doherty. I was in London having tea with the Queen. Oh. Someone actually threw a fucking can at his nose, the poor bastard. It was punched.
Yeah, it hit him. They really.
Yeah, so do a bit of a fucking Durkin show, man. Also, how'd you get Noreen? She was a local girl from Culture Mart. I actually can't remember how. I think I do. I met her in Tesco car park in Castlebar, and I said, "We're going making a show. Do you want to be in it?" She's like, "Yeah, it'll be sound," and she's very good. And like this is another theory I have about Hardy Books, that the big boys stayed away from us is because we showed that you could, we showed that you can fucking do it
Without going up through their system.
And they didn't like that.
Yeah.
And I think that is, obviously it's crude at times, but it was, you'd be surprised. Like I remember hanging out with Robbie Sheehan one night, and he's like, "I fucking love the show, man. It's fucking brilliant." Like Liam Cunningham the other day, I texted him on Instagram about a post he put up, and he goes, "Cheers, Michael." Me and the boys are lifelong fans, and I met him that time when we were at the Oblivion premiere, and then we got to meet Tom Cruise at the special Irish ceremony he was doing. Free champagne, and I fucking drank me fill. And he walked in. How's it going? Yeah, kill, right? Yeah, he was all fucking like awkward, and he comes straight up to me and goes, "Fucking Hardy Books, drinking, smoking, fighting. Fucking love the show. Can I get a photograph of me? Fucking lads, man." I was like, "Yeah, no worries." I was like, "Fucking Liam Cunningham's asking me." This was peak Game of Thrones time as well. Yeah. But then when he had to go and meet Tom Cruise, it was like, it would be like World Trade Center 7 is fucking massive. Yeah. But then you got the Twin Towers, and Tom Cruise was like the Twin Towers. I don't know why I had to go there, but that was just like the first one is massive, but then the other one's way up there, and it was interesting seeing like the different levels of fame.
Tom's in his own little orbit.
Oh yeah, fucking Had the whole lot hanging out and fucking like a chain on a Cruncher's wallet. Like, Eugene Greeny, man, he was like, they were two of my favorite episodes, the Oxygen one and the convention with you're not quiet. There's a fucking what's your IMDb for this fucking algorithm. And John O'Kearns is Robbie O'Schnock there. He's like, and Richie Neville was fucking great crack as well. Man, it's like, do you want to be Richie Neville from Babylon 5 or Richie Neville, the Repossessed House? Babylon 5. Take care. Yeah, take care. All the best, mate. Yeah. What the fuck is going on here? It's great. You get paid. But there was a bit, right, that they cut out the Netflix bit where he's going, he's in poor Corkins pub and there's like 3 people in front of him. He's like, everybody get up singing. And he goes, sing it, pigs. I was watching Molotov has put up a load of this is like a fucking Big Suze or Nancy question.
Missy said, pull a Waiting for Guffman and make a travel vlog in character. I love that movie, but I don't know what you mean. But I haven't seen it in a while, so I could be forgetting.
Who was Waiting for Guffman? Was that the Spinal Tap guys?
Spinal Tap guys. It's hilarious. The best part of that movie is when they're all auditioning and doing their little parts. And then an old man comes in and he's like, I'd like to do a part from Martin Scorsese's Raging Bull. Did you fuck my wife? Did you fuck my wife?
What? That's a sick question. You're a sick fuck. I'm not sick enough to answer that.
Sick question.
I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna give me all the answers, Joey. You're a smart man. You give me all the answers, but you don't give me the right answer. I'm gonna ask again. Did you or did you not fuck my wife?
Your man Danny
Marinino's
working on a Raging Bull project.
Is he?
Book kind of idea.
Oh man,
sorry, did I cut you off?
No worries. No, it was one of my favorite films ever. Raging Bull, believe it or not, was what we used as a template because Mike was saying it was improvised around story beats.
Really?
Mm.
I got into NYU film school, didn't go obviously, but I wrote a whole thing about Raging Bull to get in.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind watching that again, actually.
It's a fucking great movie.
There was that bit that, like, me and my ex-wife Tanya, we'd always like. There's a bit where he's just going in looking for trouble with the wife, and he's like, "Where were you today? At the movies? Oh yeah, what you see? Father of the Bride." And it was just like this, just starting on it. My brother-in-law Mike, actually, he was doing a Joe Calzaghe video in documentary over in Las Vegas, and he went to interview. Jake LaMotta, and I think it was with his like 7th wife or something, and when the interview, he's like, "That's a good boxer, you know, he's got Italian style, he's great left hands, guy's great talent." And he goes, "Oh, thanks very much, Jake, and cheers." And he went as he shook his hand, and he goes to kiss the wife on the cheek. He goes, "Yeah, what the fuck are you doing?" He's like, "Oh mate, I didn't mean anything by it. It's just a European way of, you know." Like, "Yeah, the fuck, you got some fucking balls, kiss my wife like that. Who the fuck do you think you are?" No, mate, honestly, it was completely innocent. I was being respectful. Yeah, the fuck you were. He was like, and Mike was he was an old guy, mate. He's in his 80s. I fucking still had the muscles.
She can still go. His what's her name from the movie? That wife. What's her name?
Moriarty.
What was the character's name?
Who, the second wife in it?
The one from Raging Bull. Vicky,
yeah.
She wrote a book. I read her book.
Kathy Moriarty, isn't it?
Well, that was the actress, but the actual Vicky wrote a book, My Life with Jake or something. I read it like 25 years ago. I don't remember much about it. Or she married a couple mobsters. She was only 18
as well. I like the way fucking Phil Leotardo, Billy Bats, gets that, and he's like, "Send over another bottle," and he's like, "Fucking looking at me all fucking night."
You know, him and Joe Pesci used to have a comedy act. They came up together.
Really?
And Joe Pesci played in a band in Jersey. He replaced the guy who, it was like, you know, one of those old-timey bands, you get whoever can play and for as long as they could. Jimi Hendrix had been the guitarist before he went, and then Joe Pesci came in, was the next guitar player. You believe that?
Really? He was a good guitarist, was he?
Yeah.
I did hear something about that, actually. I like to give my character a walk. Every character's got a different walk. Phil McAndrew says, on the RT series, they pushed some RT heads, e.g. the Garda did lots of work with RT shows. Did you have a choice? Yeah, well, we actually cast them because we thought the later series that went on, it'd be good to, like, Charlotte Bradley played Noreen's mum, was in a film called About Adam that had Stuart Townsend womanizing fucking Katie, what's Goldie Hawn's daughter called again?
Yeah, it's late. I saw her with The guy from Black Crowes at a table in Vegas once.
Really?
Yeah. What is her fucking name?
Katie something.
From Almost Famous.
Katie Hudson.
Kate Hudson.
Kate Hudson, that's right, yeah. And go get your fucking shine box. You know, I've had a
Get
few
your
drinks.
fucking
Had a few
shine box.
drinks, you know. Things been said, you know. Yeah, I'm at the fucking can. You know, it's gonna fucking respect.
Boy,
But
it's a good dog you got here.
well, he's a very good dog. Look at the fucking crack over there. Look, he's good friends with Matt. If you can see him, there he is. There,
Big smiley.
yeah, big smiley. He's the dog whisperer. Fucking Carlos Mencia. What was I fucking saying? Oh yeah, fucking Katie Hudson.
Penny Lane, yeah.
Why was I bringing that up?
We were talking about Goodfellas and Joe Pesci and
Yeah.
De Niro.
Why did I bring Kate Hudson up?
Here's Danny Marinino, especially back in the day. Sometimes you talk to him and he'd be talking about real life, and then it would mix in.
Yes.
And when I found out Robert De Niro had more Irish ancestry than Italian, I let him know, and he says, "Yeah, that's why they couldn't make him in the movie." And he got mad. It's like, dude, that was something.
He says it couldn't differentiate.
Yeah.
That's what I meant to say. So Charlotte Bradley was in a film with Stuart Townsend and Kate Hudson and someone else, where basically this lad was just tapping three sisters the whole way through it, just crushing the whole way. And I remember Dookie Muldowney and a few boys from Swinford who were living up in the same house as Collie. It was like when you could buy mushrooms legally from the shop, and he was like, "Hey, Maloney man, do you want to take some mushrooms?" And I was like, "Yeah, sound." And I was like, "Do I go out or do I stay in? Do I go out or stay in?" And then Owen was like, "I'm off to bed. Good night." I was like, "Don't leave me like this, man." And it was kind of like, I was like going through the fucking troubles with the ex as well. I was like, and then I was like, "Oh fuck, I'm stuck now and I can't go out." And I started like, my hands went all purple and started bubbling. I'm like, "Fuck, you know." And I was just watching About Adam, where this dude was just going, "Yeah, I'm shagging this sister, I'm shagging." But she was in that film actually, and your man who played Noreen's dad was the guy who played the reporter in Father Ted as well. But I actually I like the idea of that, you know, using mixing actors with like people who didn't come from an orthodox acting background. I think it was the third and fourth season was really heading in the right direction.
Yeah,
I mean, they're all great by themselves, but I quite liked, you know, again, fucking four episodes. It's funny because the third series, like Eddie Doyle was really pissed off because we said to him, we were like, "Well, can we, you know, go back to the roots, which would like go in off script?" And he was like, "Yeah, it's fine, no worries, boys. Yeah, that's great stuff." And then when we sent him the assembly, he was like, "That's not on the fucking script." And then he was like, you know, saying, "Oh, we're gonna have to take the fucking pay someone else to edit this out of your end." And you know, so then I had like Chris on one hand ringing me up going, "They're fucking ruining it, Martin." And then I had Mike on the other side going, "Ah, it's fucking sound, man, it's sound." So I didn't know who to listen to. And then when it finally did come out and I seen it on TV, I was like, "Oh, it's fucking brilliant."
yeah.
But so then the fourth series came around and Mike was just like, "I'm not taking any chances." So most of it was on script. As Mike would always say to us, you get your bowl of trifle at the end if you get the lines in the can.
Yeah.
But I've got shitloads of unseen stuff on the hard drive upstairs, and like
You should upload it. There's you put some up. Like there's a whole like Boo outtakes and stuff online. Yeah,
I don't think I put that. See,
Somebody
like
did.
if we could get the outtakes,
there's definitely outtakes online.
like some of the outtakes would be fucking brilliant, man.
Oh,
Like there was for the Christmas special. I was actually going to put this in, so I was actually when it was like comes out, "Oh, Christmas Day, man." I was bollock naked from the waist down, so I was just wearing a vest. So I was coming out, and you would have seen the fucking whole lot. It didn't make the cut. Didn't make the cut. But I tell
Owen
you,
made it though, didn't he?
he did, yeah. In the film, fair play to him. Oh, so I was thinking maybe we'd do another one called Owl Books. And we're just fucking owl lads now. Broadband and Best Man was top class. Oh yeah, poor old Salmon's like, "You were supposed to be the crack master."
I am a crack master.
But it's fucking man. There's bits and that I've totally forgot we'd even made. Like I was like, what happens next? It's mad how you can make something and then totally forget it.
Yeah.
And it's nice that we have it because it's like a time capsule. Like it really Chronicles Ireland. Like you see in the back in the karaoke episode, and it's like Enda Kenny, yes, there's prosperity, yes to Europe, where they fucking did the Lisbon Treaty, and then the EU was like, no, you'll have to vote again, and this time you'll be voting yes. Who let the cows out? Was Kira a trained actor? She was unreal, every scene top notch. Yeah, she was in First City, and I have to say, like, she was fucking great. And the fourth series, we knew her more as well, and yeah, she was fucking great crack, to be fair.
Sheila
Moyet as well, yeah.
She's a talented,
cute
little gal.
Yeah, she's nice. She's a good kid, nice girl. You know what I'm saying?
Good kid.
But it was fucking great crack, man. I'd like to. The script's written. I was thinking, I wonder if fucking McGregor, you know, that way Alan Partridge came back because he started doing Mid-Morning Matters. It was sponsored by Foster's. Maybe McGregor we might just do it. Sponsored by Forge Irish Stout. Yeah, he might fucking do it, man.
Him and Cowboy were drinking a few weeks ago, huh?
Oh yeah. The Cowboy's fucking swinging with the big dicks.
Yeah, he is. Illuminati.
Oh, Illuminati boy. Hey, fucking. There's a message in blood. This is your cryptic warning. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we got up to the 1 hour and 35 minutes, and I livened up there now. It's funny. It's funny you get more lively when you sit up properly, like, you know what I mean. I seen like the fucking numbers had dropped down to like 9. I was like, it was low energy.
It's up to 29 now.
Sponsored
no, it's
drop at
messages.
12.
It's messages.
Taste that Dorkin. Well, look at ladies and
29.
gentlemen. You're all fucking sound, and that's the main thing. And my main man, Matty Strangeways, our co-host, Mr. Malish, who's sleeping now tenderly in the heat of the night.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been great. Mid-morning was class. What a comeback. The Fast Show version was so stale and dated. I don't recall seeing that one. Your face on you like an old butter vulture, hey. When I went and bought beer and came back, fucking top job, Missy, getting the buzz on. What time is it there now? It's 9 hours behind, so it's fucking 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Is it? No. Afternoon time. Shite maths, man. Even simple maths like that. You need to let us know when you're coming so we can plan. Exactly. 5:30. Yeah, that's the job. Fucking Shawnee knew the crack as well. Did that man kill the Muppet? Who's that? Foxsheen. Who's that now? It's Lent. Is it already Lent? Yeah, because George was saying that the Semler that was Pancake Tuesday there on Tuesday. It must have been.
It's Lent.
Go my up the alcohol, focusing on the weed.
Good thinking, man.
Different fucking tonics for different people. Hey, different tonics, different people. Everyone had an ashy cross on their head on Wednesday. Oh, I see. Did you manage to get some? How did you manage to get so many lads in the back for Missy Table Cup? Because it was such a phenomenon, and the people who got it really loved it. And I think Peter Ganley and Fergal Darcy on iRadio and Paddy McKenna helped us out. Giving up alcohol for Lent in favour of smoking. Fair dues. Oh, Mid-Morning Matters. You know, I only seen a few of the episodes, but it like that's what led to the. It's funny because I seen Alpha Papa once, and I thought it was fucking hilarious, and I haven't seen it again since. But maybe I'm gonna write that down in the old notes because sometimes I'm thinking about funny films to watch. So that is that's something. No, fucking right. Fucking Alpha Papa. Would you remind me of that, please? The Alan Partridge.
Say what, Alan Partridge.
Alpha Papa, yeah, because I can't get the notes up.
Okay.
Scorpion, the boys. Scorpion, man. Off this fucking place, fucking flooded, man. Do you know what I mean? Hey. He's gonna what was it when he don't bit of fucking him some wolf off, man. Do you know what I mean? He's gonna have a what does he say? He's gonna have a fucking great night. Or
I forget exactly. That Yohimbe will do the trick.
Hash. I love it when he's just sitting on the wall and just like this on the drone, so casual. It's great service. I was watching it. I was like, why don't dealers just fucking do that to each other?
Yeah.
No, well, I suppose you just see the drone coming in and be kind of meet me here, man, with the drone. Yeah, I'm sure they do. They were caught dropping shit into Dublin prison and Mountjoy. They would dropping shit in with drones and just like
Yeah, I read that.
especially if you had like a claw on the drone. It's like
They're probably doing
chair
it a
face.
lot
What are
more
you
than we
fucking doing,
realize.
man? Have you seen Still Game? I haven't seen Still Game, but Alex Rossini said it's good, and Still Game. Must check that out because a lot of people went on watching Still Game and then went to Hardy Books. I think Shawneen as well was another one as well. You recommended it. Stateside was very underrated. Watch him in the background scenes, funny as fuck. Oh man, there's because he was always talking about funny games. It's one of my favorite films, Martin. Funny games. Will you go on the boat with me? It'll be the last thing you ever did. And then like when he's talking with Yuan Sorsha in the music studio, and what are you planning for the weekend? And he's like, I'm going on a boat. It just drops it in there.
You can come if you want.
Yeah. She was very good as well. She's
Yeah.
fucking like so dismissive and yet professional.
Yeah.
Yep, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. No,
Is that Italian? Yeah, no.
the Americans use these kill shepherds in Afghanistan.
Yeah, right.
Stateside radiates good vibes, man. You know, it's funny because I'd totally forgotten about the make fucking shoe, fuck your shoe.
Oh yeah.
And it was like, you might make a fucking bollocks out of Stateside, but he's not doing it to me, man. You're a fucking child.
Yeah, what's up with the dragon?
He moved to Australia. You see, he's actually Lexus's cousin on the other side.
Local guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Natalia Shesh. Do you remember? Fucking do, hey. It's funny because Natalia had reached out to me on Instagram as well, and I was like, and she was asking about the movie. I was like, what are the odds of two Natalias looking for the Hardy Books movie? But I better provide it just in case.
What's the bog?
The bog. Oh, that's basically a place where you cut turf. So it's like
Not any good in the bog.
Matt any good in the bog. Fucking hey, he turned a couple of fucking sods of turf, all right. Yeah, but actually there was a video of some lads breaking into the cottage and they put it up themselves to the soundtrack of 1905. It's like nice one. You're actually filming yourself breaking into the place, but what was this? Stateside. I had to unfollow him on Facebook because it posts. He posts too many eyebrow pictures.
What is Stateside on Facebook? Just Stateside.
They fucking chew. Stateside did, yeah. Stateside going through the ice cream inventory was amazing. Yeah, you know, it's like I was saying when we were doing series 4, it didn't feel like it had the same crack when we were filming. But then when we were watching back, it was like the scene in the swingers party as well as one of those awkward things ever. Like, do I have to give her the shot? No, don't be daft. You don't have to give anyone the shot. And then when they go into, I love this. Like, what are you doing for the weekend? Oh, well, I've actually got myself a date. You've got yourself a date. Who with? He's like, a real woman, like. Yeah, I do, yeah.
Bits down
and then what with bits down here? Yeah. What are you doing? Actually, funny enough, I'm also going on a date myself. And then, Viper, can I get some money as well? And it's just fucking hilarious that the word had got out and they're all there. And he's like, I'm not Buzz. I'm from Poland.
Yeah.
I'm Ramik.
I was wondering what he was trying to.
So it's right. I know if you listen up in when he's like, I know what Kurt Cobain had for breakfast. He's like,
Right.
Kurt Cabana. Like, there's so many.
Tommy Miller. Thank you.
Tommy
That's
Miller,
right.
hey.
He's under his name.
There's so many. Like it's just so fucking multi-layered. Like some people watch it and go, I don't get it. Like there was some poll there on Facebook about like what the funniest comedy show. It's like Hardy Books, shite. I was like, yeah, sure is, mate. Yeah. And then he's like, oh, Bosco was class. You know, these fucking numpties.
That was a poll like last week on Joe IE or one of the.
What's that?
On Instagram. I posted Hardy Books.
And where was this on
Instagram? I don't remember. It might have been Joe.
We came second place on this Lad Bible Island thing once.
Might have been. I don't think I follow Lad Bible.
Lod Bible. I did the ice cream van scene with Tom and Simcard and Viper, some crack giving him abuse. Yeah, I remember that as well. I forgot about that. I was watching it the weekend. I was like, there's fucking Kevin Ean, man. Any hash? Hardy Books is shite. That's a fight. That's a fight on site statement. what's the crack between season 2 and series 3? Svetlana. Well, funny enough, there was the episode where Universal. We did a video of Universal to promote the film, and poor old Sam, and he's like, there's no internet over there, and I got a phone number for it, but it's the wrong number. So basically fucked off after, unfortunately. For some reason.
Who fucked off after?
Svetlana.
Actress?
Yeah, she got the green card.
I thought she was Irish.
Oh, no, she's Lisa McAllister, her
Yeah.
name is. She's Scottish.
Just
but lived in London.
So who fucked off?
Small bastard. But she like, because when they were doing the film, I was too busy to write the film.
Oh, okay.
So Mike got this lad Jerry Greeny to help out, and he was like, so it was like Svetlana fucked off basically. SIM card, maybe. Would you like to ask him some questions about his life? SIM card, maybe. You would like to ask him some questions about his life? Sing us some Slim Whitman, hey. Are we not going to touch on how the Super Bowl was rigged? I didn't bother watching it, to be honest with you, but what was it like? Fucking Joe Biden, Dark Brendan. Like, he's putting up a meme that was basically,
That was weird.
it was like shower time, Ashley. You know, it was like the whole meme was taking the piss out of him, and then people start using Dark Brendan like it's some sort of edgy meme, but it's actually taking the piss out of what a fucking nonce he's supposed to be. But the Super Bowl, like it's fucking weird shit, man. You know what I mean? It's like just one of these times just to segue as much shite advertisements and subliminal crap as possible. I didn't even know who won. It was the Kaiser Chiefs, wasn't it?
The Katy Perry's team. I saw at the.
She's no great shakes, is she? That fucking Taylor Swift.
Or Taylor Swift.
Awful skinny, man. Awful skinny. No great shakes, man.
There was a beer they were selling on the plane over called Taylor and Swift.
Make you sick.
Fucking kidding me. I worked usher gig once, and
would you watch 5 films in a row? Would you watch Top Gear? Ironically, why did you write the boo out of? That was down to a personal bereavement in his family, and he had to leave for a funeral. So
I wondered about that.
Yeah, so we had to basically just improvise.
Yeah,
and Salmon came in to fill that role then.
What's he up to these days? What does he do?
He's married to a Mexican girl, and he seems to be quite happy.
Yeah. What's he do for work?
I don't know. I think he's a care assistant at the moment. I think he's doing that. He's fucking working hard, man, helping the elderly, help the aged. Yeah. Cardinal Flanagan, when did the girlfriend leave? Oh, just about 6 years ago.
She shipped out about 6 years ago.
Lost a woman's touch. After the Woof Woof SIM card and Toasteen skagging like mad. Yeah. I was like, hold on there, lads. I might come downtown. Watching her snub Celine Dion was it for me. What happened? I didn't see that. Was there... Oh, she's fucking nuts.
Isn't she sick, Celine Dion?
Is she?
I think she is. I think she's got a problem.
I didn't watch it either, but it was rigged. Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, it could, who's to say these events? I'm just putting this out there.
It's just that gambling is so much bigger now. Online gambling, and it's just advertising. Gamble, gamble, gamble. And
but who's to say, you can't do a WrestleMania on it? Do you know what I mean? With fixed outcomes.
I know.
Like, it's so fucking, it makes you wonder. Like,
they say it's
it
the
can
people
be.
that really believe it that I know that are really football guys and follow it, and they're just like, I was talking to my friend Dave, and he's just like, now with the gambling so big and the money, just watch the refs, because that's where the chicanery is.
Yeah, exactly.
Just watch the refs. That's what they, just like in basketball, they had a bunch of NBA guys get busted.
Oh, yeah?
A few years back, yeah.
Yeah, because, if you look at like Mayo versus Dublin that time, 2016, 2017, you couldn't write it with the, like, refs aside, like, just fucking the way shit. It was literally the way the ball bounced, or like Mayo scoring 2 fucking own goals in what, like, they were handily beating Dublin. and end up scoring 2 own goals.
Yeah.
Never a dull moment. Yeah.
like
Taylor
a
Swift
Paki
got
Bonner
banned
missed
from the
this.
stadium. Got Kanye banned from the stadium. Really? Taylor Swift didn't even look at her. Just grabbed my Grammy a la Gollum. Oh, I didn't see that. You know, there was apparently Taylor Swift had people going around like up and coming new artists' performances.
Up and coming fuckers.
Up and coming fuckers, and basically just copied their new innovative style.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, apparently, my brother-in-law was saying that's what Bowie did back in the day. Like he'd be going around like Berlin and places like this, and like unknown bands that were doing things that were innovative. He's like, yoink, I'll take that. I mean,
Influence.
Influence, yeah. I mean, it's basically you're like.
I mean, when he did Fame and that whole album, he went to. Didn't he go to Philadelphia, New York, and just listen to those musicians, and he'd hire bands that could do it, and.
Yeah. I mean, really, like...
I believe that about the Berlin thing, you know?
Yeah, that's what my brother-in-law was saying. I mean, look, it makes sense. It's like, what, you know, what's up and coming? And then, like, apparently, I remember reading in the Hammer of the Gods book about Led Zeppelin that Jimmy Page, you know, the punk had basically snubbed, like virtuosity and these, like, long guitar solos and showmanship. And then it was, like, orthodoxy and flair and exhibitionism, and instead it was like I am an anarchist, just like 4 chords, and
anybody can do it.
Yeah, and apparently he was fucking off his tits on heroin in the bed, just like listen to Billy Idol, and trying to figure out what it was that was, because apparently Billy Idol and the boys had snubbed Led Zeppelin, and because Led Zeppelin had been around, and they were like,
well, a lot of those bands did. Belly, I had the song. I was in love with the Beatles. Oh, I was in love with the Stones. I was in love with Bobby Dylan. Because I'm in love with rock and roll. If anyone, Billy kind of kept it real.
Now he does golfing commercials.
You know, this morning he played acoustic on his Instagram. He played These Days by Jackson Browne and also covered by the Chelsea girl herself, Nico. And that's an awesome song. Billy seems like a good dude. Though I did have an ex-girlfriend who was a Generation X and Billy fan, and he played in Phoenix, and she was up in the front, and he like was singing a song, and he went over and just like grabbed the back of her head and made it look like she was blowing him. She had a sense of humor, so she was okay with it, but it was like, whoa,
Billy Idol.
Bill.
Do you remember the time when fucking Bam Margera was like, Billy Idol's coming to cut the roof off my Lamborghini?
I did not, but that's awesome.
Yeah.
I saw Billy live when I was 13, and I had a little spiked hair and everything, man. And it was the week before he filmed the Rebel Yell video.
Oh, really?
It was right before it, and he had the thing on, and it was pretty awesome.
He played Pinhead in Hellraiser 2, didn't he?
Did he?
Yeah.
I remember from the Adam Sandler movie.
Adam Sandler movie.
The Wedding Singer.
Oh, right.
He's on the plane. He's like, see, Billy Idol gets it.
Speaking about The Wedding Singer, I remember when I was about 15 and I'd be staying with my brother-in-law and sister in Dublin, and they used to make me walk to the Extravision in Rathmines. It'd be about fucking 10-minute walk each way. They sent me out to Extravision. They were like, get a good film. I was like, okay, yeah. So I was like, I'd seen The Wedding Singer in the papers. It was a good film.
Mm-hmm.
I was a kid. I'd watch that kind of shite and I'd be happy enough with it. So I came back with The Wedding Singer, and they were like, they just berated my choice. They're like, oh, hilarious, 5 stars. The Sun. Oh, a comedy masterpiece. The Mirror. And oh, look at the fucking. And they just bullied me and then sent me back off to get another film.
Not Adam Sandler fans, obviously.
And I was like, what about Big Lebowski? And I think maybe it was. Yeah. So I was asking them, like, what about the Big Lebowski? I've seen that in there and, like, seen it. What about this? Seen it. What about that? Seen it. I was like, fucking hell, man.
What'd you send me for?
They'd be watching films like Made in Britain with Tim Roth.
That's
like,
pretty
Ken
heavy
Loach
duty.
movies.
Yeah, I've
and,
seen that.
They
Gary Oldman, right?
Yeah, and I remember one state there, we were down in Henry's house, and Henry, like, comes from like a big house in the Cotswolds, like swimming pool and all that. And I remember like being about 15, and the two of them were arguing like passionately about Mike Lee being condescending as a director towards the working class. They're like, "Fuck you!" And they're properly going at it.
Because of the film?
Yeah, because it was like, "Oh, Mike Lee is a director. I don't think he's a fucking condescending prick against working class people. Oh, I don't think that's a very obtuse point of view to make. Oh, fuck you!" They're probably going at it. I was like, "Stop fighting!" But that's what they did. Apparently, here's a story for you. Actually, in 1995, they took me. I was 12, and they took me over to Ireland, and they dropped me off in Swinford, and they went to Achill. They were staying with Patricia's friend's mother, Doreen, in Achill, and they'd had another argument as usual, and then there was a knock at the door. It was about maybe like 3 o'clock in the morning. It was like, but apparently the door was really hard to open. Like, and then anytime you like open the door, the vacuum created would bring smoke out of the chimney. So like they're arguing, and they hear a knock on the door, and the door just goes off the hinges, just fucking flies open, and the fire that was basically, it was just very bare embers left in it, just starts going, and Henry just goes to this. What the fuck is going on? Oh, you a witch? And she was like, "This isn't me." And then the next morning, Henry said to Doreen, he goes, "Oh, Doreen, I think you might have a few spooks living in the place." She was like, "Oh, they don't like to be called spooks, Henry. They don't like to be called spooks." Yeah, so yeah, that was pretty intense. Spooky boys. Gary Oldman used to date Isabella Rossellini, who lives in my hometown.
Wow, I haven't heard that name in a while. She was a big deal for a while.
Let's say Isabella Rossellini.
Gary Coleman's better than Gary Oldman. Rest in peace.
Who wrote that?
Cannibalics.
Gary Coleman. She was tasty enough in a day. Do you know who was very beautiful? Was
Steven Spielberg. Just sorry to interrupt real quick. Kevin Moran. Steven Spielberg grew up right near the Dianetics house.
Really?
He grew up in Arcadia district of Phoenix. And he went to
What the hell is
Arcadia
this
High
film?
School.
Green porno. Oh man, you gotta see this one. I gotta share the screen.
What made you bring that up?
Because I was looking up you one who. When you see this,
You got requests for a song too, buddy.
look at this. Look.
Oh, is that Isabella Rossellini?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she does weird stuff, huh? I've seen this.
Mantis.
Holy shit! I have seen this. It's been a while. Dr. Isabella Rossellini.
Look at this one. She's really enjoying the crack with the mantis there. Yeah, mantis.
She was in Blue Velvet, right?
Yeah.
Heineken. Fuck that shit.
I looked-
Pabst Blue Ribbon.
This was covered because they thought it was some sort of penile trajectory. Oh, what's this? There's another one here.
Yeah, this is some kind of. God, it's been a while.
Look at the eyes. Who is your one from? This one. She was in fucking James Bond as well.
Oh yeah, she's a doll. What was her name?
The She-Wolf. She was unreal, man.
Speaking of Tim Roth, our friend Pringle from up there in Edinburgh, he was in Rob Roy.
Really?
I think he was an extra, but
This one here, what was it? She was well chased, man. Sophie Marceau.
yeah, it's a biology thing. That's what the green porn is.
But so she was France's answer to Monica Bellucci, she's probably one of the finest looking women going as well. Monica Bellucci.
I used to work with a gal whose dad was in a band with Jim Belushi, or her uncle was in a band, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And one day she came in with a photo of them. They were called like Belushi's Belushi. A picture of her dad with a young John Belushi and John Belushi's brother, I think.
Yeah.
Here's the gal that gave John Belushi
A hand job.
quick handy after the gig. No, the one that gave him his shot that he died. She is the somebody. She's a famous song. She's the subject of from like 10 years earlier, and I forget what the song is.
What was the name of that French film with
Man Bites Dog.
no, that's a fucking crazy film. I seen that one when I was like 19.
Baxter.
No, it was
You
like
see
it was a
that?
film with like Robert De Niro. It's not Leon. Renault.
Oh.
Sean Renault's in
Well, Leon was the assassin movie
yeah,
with what's her name?
What's the other one with like Robert De Niro in it? And it's like
Oh, not
it's-
Brazil. No.
what's it? She's in the Truman Show. She's Natasha something. She's Irish descent. I
The
always thought
French
she
movie
was-
with De Niro. What's it about?
this actress who was in Truman Show.
That was a good film. I like the Truman Show.
I always thought this lady was, what's her name? Natasha Steve. Yeah, I always thought she was pretty as well.
Britt Eklund in The Wickerman. Thank you. We have a winner.
Fucking,
Philip McAndrew, you win the award for
that was a fucked up movie.
it
that,
is a
The
fucked
Wicker
up
Man.
movie.
That bit where like the pigs and all that, you can like burning the animals. That was
it is I haven't seen the second one, but the first one, Britt Eklund used to go out with Peter Sellers, or they were married. They met on the set of a film called The Bobo. And if you've never seen The Bobo, it's pretty interesting. I think it's a Spanish film, but Peter Sellers turns blue.
Christopher Lee.
He puts out metal albums now. Did you know that? He loves heavy metal.
Who?
Christopher Lee.
He's dead.
Well, up until he died,
Really?
he put out a bunch of really good heavy metal albums, or like legit.
Look at that for a picture, man. She was in Minder, the Irish girl. Really? Fucking hell. You got to see this one. This is a beautiful, beautiful picture here of Roger Moore.
Cannonball Run.
Look at this here.
Nice.
Yeah, Roger Moore. You know what? That was fucking brilliant. Was when Britt Eklund got done on Brass Eye. It was like, please help get this elephant's trunk out of her backside. Oh no! And it was like, there was another one where it was like it was an animal cruelty series or an episode. It was like a pig jumped out of a tree on top of a python in a two-way death pact in Chester Zoo. I love Chester Zoo was my local zoo, but like a pig jumped out, like about how the animals were getting so depressed in zoos that a pig jumped out of a tree on top of a python as part of a two-way death pact in Chester Zoo.
They have a show, right? There's a Chester Zoo show.
Cake. It's a made-up drug with a hell of cake ringing in his ears. David Amos MP, went to the halls of power. Right. Okay, I've got to hit the road now. This time I've definitely gone because I've got to take the dog out for his final piss up before we go to the land of
Bobo.
funny enough, you say that the Sweeney was good. My dad was working in London, and the Sweeney lads, John Thor and Dennis Waterman, and he was like, I was hanging out with the Sweeney boys. Nice lads. And apparently he was on the sauce with Ollie Reed. So
the man himself.
the man himself.
Didn't Oliver Reed die in drinking with trying to
Arm
outdrink
wrestling,
the
Iraqi
rugby
sailors.
teams or something?
It was Iraqi sailors in a pub in Malta when they were filming The Gladiators, and they were doing a competition where they could like lift up a table like this, and it was arm wrestling lads, and then fucking the heart gave in, and
Wow.
yeah, he died
lot of
doing
people go
what
out
it
like
was
that,
that
yeah.
he loved.
Yeah.
To be fair to him,
Yeah.
and the time when Clive James said to him on the Mike Laspel show, he was like trying to make a bollocks and because he comes out with a fucking shirt opened and drinking a jug of vodka and orange. He's like, I was known as the Wild One from miles round. And he's like fucking making a real exhibition of himself.
He's Keith
And-
Moon's buddy.
Yeah, Keith Moon's buddy. Yeah, I funny enough, Ed O'Neill, back home in Stockholm, we did an interview with Keith Moon's ex-wife, I think it was. And then I said, is it true that Keith and Ollie took gorilla tranquilizers and then went flying around in a helicopter. Yes, it could be true. I don't know. They would have a great time together. It wasn't always heavy parties and drinking and lots of drugs. Ollie was a very sweet man too. But that time when Clive James said to him, "Ollie, what do you drink?" And then his answer was fucking. This is an example when someone tries to make a bollocks out of you, right? And they're trying to get something. Give them, and my sister Trisha always told me this. Give them what they want to hear. You know, like yeah, and it's like, fair enough. It's just totally. He goes, "Ollie, what do you drink?" And he goes, "Well, I believe some of the finest people I have met in life have been in pubs." You know, where do you go from there? That was, and you could see he genuinely meant it.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, he literally went out in a pub.
Yeah.
He fucking loved pubs. And that's something that myself and Chris Perez and the boys are going to do a Blazing Budgets in London in June. And I put in one of the things would be to try and recreate the pubs of Wimbledon that Richard Harris and Ollie Reed did.
Oh, wow.
We'll fucking do it, buddy. But 2 of the pubs are now gone. So
did you ever see A Man Called Horse?
No.
They hang Richard Harris by his tits.
Jesus.
To join the tribe, they stick things in his nipples and his chest, and they spin him around, and then he becomes a member of the tribe.
Did they do it for real?
It looks real. I haven't seen it in a long time. It's pretty intense. I mean, you see that shit now, but like in the shock shows and the
what was that one with Donald Pleasance, Waking Fright?
I don't know that one.
Apparently, it's like filmed out in Broken Hill, where there was another one called Razorback, which was about giant
pigs,
boars. Yeah. But Waking Fright is supposed to be a fucked up movie altogether. Do you like the movie Beer Fest? You know, it's one of them where research wasn't done on anything beyond superficial levels.
Yeah.
You got Vinnie Jones coming in. Yeah. Oh, I'm a Man United supporter. It's like, you know, it's like they didn't realize that Man United comes from Manchester, which is about a 3-hour drive, a 4-hour drive, maybe north of. It'd be like being in Florida and saying, "Go on, Wisconsin." You know what I mean? It's just like, but I guess they got the people in the States to watch it, and that's the fucking main thing. Hey,
they did. I think those guys are doing a new film. Forget what's the name of that troupe? Is that Broken Lizard?
I don't know. But I'll tell you one thing: there's a lizard that needs to be drained, and it's that dog's lizard, and I've got to go. But Euro trip, you're fucking right. Actually, I do remember seeing Beer Fest with Collie and Tom back in the Galway days, and I remember quite enjoying it. Actually, I do remember it was quite. It was like Cool Runnings, but with piss ups.
Yeah,
as far as I remember. Yeah.
You guys think you're good at drinking? Well, we beat the Irish. Yeah, I would say we are very good at drinking.
Yeah, exactly. Waiting for Guffman, I must check that out. Actually,
that's a great film.
You know, what pissed me off that Rob Reiner actually fucking directed Spinal Tap.
Yeah,
and he was good in it as well. As like, tell me about these guitars here. Oh, well, that one's still got a tag on it. Don't touch it. Don't even look at it. No, don't look at it. And then the extra tap was great. It had your man from Godfather 2 as the limo driver.
Yeah.
And he's like
Bruno Kirby.
What are you reading there? Oh, you get the bit with Frankie, and then it's just as you're talking, it's just it's a passing fad. These guys like Frankie, they don't understand the struggle that those guys.
Oh, that in the other part in the extras when he goes up to their room and he's like, no, and they're like, hey, you want some of this? And they opened up the cigar box with all the joints. And he's like, nah, that doesn't work on me. And then do that. And then they cut to the next scene. And he's just starting to play pizza all the way.
That's the extra tap on the DVD was.
It's just as good as the movie.
Oh, it's brilliant, man. I love it when what's his name? Fucking what's fucking it's Nigel Tufnell and David St.
Hubbins.
So Hubbins and he meets his son and he hasn't seen his son for ages. And he's like, here he is. And he's like. Then Nigel gets up and goes,
yeah.
That's right. It's black. It's black. It's the color of death. You know, and you can see a reflection on both sides.
I was in a movie with Michael McKean.
Where, yeah?
Yeah, it's called Book of Love. I was an extra. You can see me walk through in the party scene. Never saw Michael McKean.
Michael McKean is he's married to Christopher Guest is the lad who plays Nigel Tufnell,
Yeah.
and he's married to Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah,
Jamie Lee
that makes
Squirtus.
sense.
And
Man, I just watched The Vikings with her dad. You ever see that film?
oh, the one with Kurt,
Yeah.
where they fucking tie them up and the crabs get them or something.
Yeah, they go.
Kurt Douglas.
Yep.
I remember what's that old film where the Germans are making heavy water, and then there's a scene where he's like they're trying to get out of there, and some German lad soldier walks in, and they pretend to be kissing, and then he goes, "Oh, excuse me." Compliments of the season. So, like, any time around Christmas, I'll always say, other times I'll say,
Who is it?
compliments of the season.
Is that The Great Escape or something?
Let me see. Find the fucking name of it now,
Steve McQueen.
lad. Heavy Water, Kirk Douglas.
Heavy Water.
Do you remember they did a film where it was like 3 generations of the Douglas actors? It was fucking shite, man. Even had Michael Douglas's son in it. Douglas'
Wasn't the
images
game,
of tough
was
guy
it?
was established as 8th film champion, 1949, after his producer Stanley Kramer chose him to play a selfish boxer.
seen
Heroes
that
of Telemark, is it? Yeah, I think it was Heroes of Telemark, but where it's like compliments of the season.
Never saw that one.
Actually, Terry, the Irish director Terry McMahon, was on Johnny Cronin's podcast up in Mullingar, and he's a funny bastard, man. I'm going to see if it's up there. It was on YouTube. I'm going to send a link. But I'm going to ask Terry if he wants to come on here for a chat, because he's much like myself, fucking a true rural lad. Who basically, you know, is intelligent and insightful, and basically just fucking snubbed for being too bloody genuine. He did a podcast with Johnny Cronin. It was fucking hilarious. Some of the stuff he comes out, and some of the stories. Basically, Johnny Cronin has a podcast where, if you can find it on YouTube, where basically it's you go on it. He wants me to go on it as well, where you talk about the six very influential songs growing up when you were young. It's called Teenage Wasteland, but it was really interesting to listen to him, and he's got a really beautiful way of speaking. But I was listening to it today, and it was good. Let me see if I can find on the old YouTube. Teenage Wasteland, man. Teenage Wasteland. Yeah, here it is. So I'm gonna put this up on the. This is a great listen. There was some like 5 minutes in. He's like, "What are you talking about, you cunt?" Like, you know, and he's on the. So I'm going to put that up in the chat, and I'm going to. So if there's the URL there, so pause this if you're watching in the archives. But he's a funny fucker, and it's very interesting. And actually, he's very, very good about speaking out when everyone was like forced to lock down. What was the deal with all the fucking weird TikTok dancing, man? I mean, that in itself is a glaring red flag. That you're supposed to be in a time where there is insane levels of triage going on.
Yeah.
And yet they've all these
hospitals in Los Angeles can't take any more.
Yeah. And yet they're all fucking, they've got the time to do very well choreographed.
Yeah. Lots of them.
It was rubbing in your fucking face. Anyway, won't get into that now.
It's too late for that.
It's too late, baby. Now it's too late. But I had good fun with Mad and Strange Ways on the stream with all you guys. Right. I'm gonna leave it there now. I'm gonna have to fucking this time. I'm gone. I have to. It's like an encore. I'm heading now. Oh yeah. Oh, we're doing a few more words. It's a bit like when the fucking comedian goes, "Hey, before I go, get the attention." But anyway, I fucking love you all, and thanks very much for watching your fucking song. Have a great weekend, and smile and beyond. We'll do another touch, an extra touch before he goes off to the next zone. Maybe Michael, yeah. I'll chat to you all. Bless. You're on a wall, you more carrots.